to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another presentation of the Mystic Racing League and their Slim Chickens Cup Series, powered by Tier1 SetupShop.com. This time from Chicagoland, Chi-Town, 500 kilometers here at the Chicagoland Speedway. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook. Alongside me for the first time this season, Connor Horn. Cameras by Dougie Beard, as always. And Connor, we're up for a great one here tonight.
Should be a fun one with these cars. The next-gen cars are pretty much sideways anywhere they go. You take them to probably the most worn-out track we're going to see on this schedule for the Cup Series. It's going to be a treat. This mile-and-a-half track, 207 laps, opened, 25 years ago. NASCAR in the real world, finally coming back here after 6 years away. Really, really fun racetrack. Great for side-by-side racing. Great for door-banging finishes over the years in the sim and also in the real world. It's been a really fun racetrack. And early in the season, all these drivers get the first real big mile-and-a-half test. Like we said, this is really going to be the most worn-out oval these drivers go to.
Absolutely. It's put on great racing all week long. Wednesday for the Downtown Auto Sales Truck Series, last night for the Caswell Glass National Series, and tonight here for the Cup Show. Quick look at the points. Isaac Wilson, Colin Bollinger, Aaron Baum lead the way in the top three as we are ready to get to the grid. Without further ado, pole sitter for tonight will be the 15 of Devin Curl alongside the aforementioned Aaron Baum, starting second in the 2. Third spot, Jack Fiffner in the 55. Thomas Hartzog with a great starting effort in the 4th spot. Row 3 belongs to Clayton Good and River Hayes. 7th will be Isaac Wilson, the points leader. Jacob Cochran with his best start of the season in 8th. And your top 10 belongs to Isaac Brock in the 21 and Gavin Hinson in the 39.
At 47, David Moyer is going to start in the 11th position. Evan Janik, 43, will start alongside him in 12th. Zach Davidson, 0-1, one of the Camrys in the field, will start in the 13th position. Christian Barnes will start 14th in a Mustang. Michael Wade, the 5 car, he will start in the 15th position. Harold Tucker, the 3rd, 79 Toyota Camry, he will start 16th. Joshua Gillen, 17th for him. And another Mustang, Dustin Lewis, I believe no sponsor, at least not on my screen on that car. Another Camry starting 18th, and Zachary King trying to get a good finish tonight. He'll start pretty much mid-pack in the 51. He starts 19th. Caleb Hunt will start in the 20th position, 8th in points.
21st, Derek Jewett to start this one off. Lauren Vincent in 22nd. We have his driver cam here this evening. 23rd for Pollock, another driver cam driver. Reggie Kime in 24th to start this one out. 25th will be Brad Nelson, the 33. McCoy Benke in 26th. 27, Charles Robertson in 17. Jared Knopfschneider in 28th. In your top 30 belong to John Ullman and Colin Bollinger.
And right behind them, final row of the field, Alan Zukoff and Corey Powell round out this field. 32 starters. Excuse me, they're not going to round out the field. Landon Kelly, 33rd car starting. Let's not erase these people near the back. Starting further back than he wants to. Landon Kelly, 33rd. Beckett Brown, 34th position for him. And 35th, Zach White, the 77th, the final starter in this field. So Zach White's got some work to do all the way from the back. Sorry, I did not mean to cut those 3 out of the race. 35 drivers starting tonight.
Yeah, those bottom 3 did not take a time during qualifying. It's not one that counted. They probably went out of the racetrack, but for whatever reason, did not go their way. And Connor, we have 207 laps up on the sheet here tonight, 45 miles an hour on pit road. That middle row right there, tire sets at 6 and fuel 34 to 37. That's really the interesting point with the stages the way that they are.
It's really going to make for interesting strategy. You have to pit at least once before you get to the end of stage 1, whether that's maybe we get a caution, whether you have to go green and go 35 laps or so on a tank of fuel. But either way, your decision at the end of stage 1 is going to be really interesting because you don't really want to run out of tire sets too early. So you could see drivers, if we get that yellow, if we get no yellow, go fully green to lap 55. You could see drivers stay out of the stage and just pit under green, or maybe if there's a yellow a little bit later, but you might see drivers probably take that second set under that stage yellow with how far the tire fall off is going to be. I think you're going to have to pit at that stage yellow instead of staying out. And then you get to lap 115 with that stage. It's going to be really interesting strategy-wise and really interesting to see how big the tire fall off is at a track like this, and a track that's really heated up, really hot track temp, and a very windy racetrack tonight.
Absolutely. Tier1setupshop.com setups. They have their work cut out for them tonight. This is not going to be great conditions here in this evening. Lights are out on the pace car. Should be making that sharp left-hand turn off the racetrack any moment. There we go. Let's get this thing underway. Devin Curl going to bring him to the green flag. And we're racing from Chicagoland. Oh, big crash already, middle of the field.
Oh, look out. Big crash. Lauren Vincent's in it. Reggie Kime's in it. Landon Kelly's in it.
First car I saw sideways was the 21. Didn't make it around to complete that first lap. Let's see what sparked the big one on the backstretch here in Chicago.
Looking at the restart from my feed, they did say restart under review, so we'll see if anyone on the front row gets a penalty for that. Looked like the night, yeah, Isaac Wilson, first one to break sideways.
Yeah, points leader got loose. Lot of good drivers involved in that one. And no faster pairs in this series either, so a lot of these drivers are going to have damage the whole night.
Yeah, and for a 200-lap race, you know, long races like it is in this series, it's going to be tough to deal with. But you're racing for points, you're going to have to deal with it. Only driver with top 5s in every race this season is going to be a lot tougher tonight. Looks like he, so easy in the next-gen cars to get so sideways on cold tires, and it looks like he probably just overstepped on the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to watch this right from the very start of the race through turns 1 and 2. You can see a big checkup on the bottom. I think John Ullman got some pretty heavy nose damage out of that.
You can see right here, he's already wiggling in 4th gear, so he's going to have a little bit more wheel spin and he crosses that bottom seam right there. You see that bottom seam? You kind of lose grip when you cross over those, and it's almost like right there he just broke sideways, and this collected a lot of cars.
It did. Yeah, Zach White, heavy damage. Lauren Vincent got the worst of it. Meatball flag for that car. I don't know if it's quite a day ender, but definitely not a good start by any stretch.
It looks like Lauren Vincent's the only driver with a meatball flag in sim, so it looks like he's going to be the lone driver who's going to be out of this race to start. Not a good start. Didn't really get to turn 3, so unfortunate for him. I did hear there was a review on the initial start. Didn't really see what was wrong with it, but we did see the checkup, so that could have been a part of it, as some drivers severely missed their stall.
Well,
I think that was a 77.
Well, if the brakes don't work, it's hard to get in the stall. That is for certain.
Oh my goodness, they just got DQ'd.
Oh, no way. Backed up too far and got the DQ. That's
Zach White. We saw. Oh my god, me and Bradley saw that in the MRL 500. We saw someone do that, and it's just happened again.
It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is remembered. That's probably going to make the VSPEED not top 10. We saw that VSPEED top 10 drop yesterday. For those of you who are curious, go check it out right here on the channel. Oh, we are choosing here. Looks like we are. That was close on bomb. So middle seam on the racetrack where it hits start-finish line. That is the choose box, if you will. No part of the car can touch that choose box. Everyone seems to make it through okay on this go-around.
And you got the brigade of drivers severely damaged, bringing it back around. You got really 4 drivers: Landon Kelly, John Woolman, Michael Wade, Isaac Brock, and then Joshua Gillen, Isaac Wilson. All those drivers coming back around, having to repair damage. Some drivers look like they got it fully repaired, but there's definitely going to be a decent amount of others who are going to have to wait for another yellow, maybe at the stage break, to get even more repair done.
Absolutely, and we can confirm that the 07 is out of the race. Lauren Vincent will not be able to continue. Certainly not the Friday night they were looking for. Out of the race so early in this one, not even completing lap number 1.
Thankfully, they did, I believe, give the DQ back from Zach White, so he was able to get back on track, but he's going to be way far behind.
Absolutely. All right, let's try this again. Curl into the restart zone. Good launch. Away we go. Oh, we got another car around.
Oh,
We're
in the back.
almost wrecking in the back. Oh, we are wrecking in the back.
Reggie Kime, Isaac Brock.
Another one. Was that the 93 again?
Now the caution is out. It looked like they wrecked down the backstretch. Jacob Cochran, the 88 spun, so there's something separate down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think it was another one of those kind of accordion deals. We'll see here. It was. I saw a blue car. It was not the 93. It might have been Cochran. Someone got loose. Yeah, it was Cochran in a big way, and then right here just could not save it. Back up across the racetrack, right in. Is that the third? That's the 33, the Caswell Glass car.
Brad Nelson, he's already brought his car to pit road. He has a meatball. He's going to be done for the day. Isaac Brock also has the meatball. He was involved in, I think, the crash at the very back. Yeah, Reggie Kime as well. So multiple drivers out for 2 different incidents on the same lap. They wrecked at the back and wrecked at the front. And once again, just couldn't tell. It almost looked like he got contact. He broke sideways so much, but I think that was all on his own.
Yeah, I think he just got put in the middle, and the car didn't like it, I think is what happened. And we'll get one more shot at it here.
I mean, it broke sideways so hard, it's like something broke or like he downshifted, but we heard it on the in-car. He definitely didn't downshift, but it's worn out track. Weird things are going to happen like that.
And there is a big bump in the middle of 1 and 2, but it's closer to the entry. Yeah, he just got loose on his own. There was no contact from the 39 behind him. Where is time to be part of this? I didn't see the 9.
That was the wreck. Well, that was the wreck at the back. They wrecked way at the back into turn number 1.
Yeah, let's see what happened with Kime here. Oh, they're pushing and shoving already.
Backing up back there. Reggie Kime, Michael Wade. That's where Isaac Brock gets his damage.
Yeah, looking at the 9 here. Oh, the 9 and the 5 just got together. Oh, that's a hard hit. Oh, man.
Yeah, Isaac Brock nowhere to go. He's just an innocent bystander and all that, and he's probably got the worst of it, really.
Yeah.
Him and the 9 definitely got the worst of it.
Yeah, definitely a few drivers having less than stellar starts to their day here in Chicagoland. Aaron Baum also with a black flag. Not sure if it was a choose violation. We kind of mentioned that he might have clipped the box when we were choosing last time by, but regardless, black flag for the 2. Not sure if that's going to get cleared or not.
Well, that was manually given out. So I think that's when they were reviewing the initial start. I think they deemed he jumped the initial start. So
Certainly.
I believe that would end up being a pass-through penalty for him.
Yeah, that would be his second in as many days for a pass-through penalty. Pit too soon after it was closed last night, and that also gave him one of those penalties. Let's see here at the choose. Should be picking lanes this time. Looks like we are.
Yeah, this time Baum picks the inside because he's going to have to take that drive-through as quickly as he can.
Yeah, the rule in this series is you have to finish. You have to go under the flag stand. That was very close, and I think that was, I can't see who that was right on the line. But you have to go under the flag stand to take the green flag, then you can do your pass. So you can't just tag onto the back of the field and pull down while the leaders are coming to green. You must complete that lap, and then you can make your pit stop. Or not pit stop, your drive-through. So that is an important distinction to make because you certainly could gain a lot of time by pitting before we get underway.
And we haven't quite got to turn 3 yet, so he hasn't had a chance to serve that pass through yet. But if we do get to turn 3 and he has to serve that drive-through penalty, everyone better be aware that he's going to be braking on the banking pretty much like a normal pit stop like you would. But he's going to have 30 cars behind him on the inside line, so it could be sketchy.
And where do you go if you're behind him? There's
hopefully not into him.
Yeah, hopefully not into him. You're right, but it's hard to get this car to turn. Period, at this racetrack, let alone to go right and then back left around a car slowing on the apron. Let's try this one more time here. Maybe third time's a charm. Curl again with a great launch in the restart zone, and we're back underway here in Chicago. Good so far. Watching Baum to see everyone's going to the high side. I think they understand he has to serve that penalty right here.
Slow it down pretty early. I thought, you could usually carry more speed on entry, but he's just going to take the safe approach, get at the pit lane without any issues.
Yeah, that's the right call. Just have to make sure you can get there, and he did. So we are 3 wide, middle of the pack.
Really widens out on the front straightaway. That apron, it's not really like Kansas or Kentucky. It's much wider than that, but it's so flat compared to the front tri-oval that it really wears the tires out. So you're not going to be seeing many drivers do that after the first 3 laps or so after a restart, but it almost looks like Pocono how much they fan out at that part of the racetrack.
Really does. I think it depends on the balance is. If the balance is already loose, you probably want to go down there, hurt the right front a little bit, get some heat in it. But if you're building tight with this car, you do not want to be anywhere near that apron.
Don't want to be near that apron. If you can be anywhere, you want to be in clean air, which is where Devin Curl is. And even for 2 laps under green, he's built a pretty good lead. There's a car in the grass at a turn number 2 near the back, and that is Alan Zukov, kind of all on his own.
Let's see what caused that one.
Looked pretty lonely. Didn't see if he was racing anyone out of turn number 2. Just looked up, saw a car in the grass.
It looks like he's got no help so far. I just went around on him, just stepped out.
I wonder how much of that is because of how the wind is. You can't really see where it's blowing. We just know it's about 15 miles an hour. So whichever direction it's blowing, it's causing havoc. And it would be a pretty good candidate for turn 2 to be where it's causing the most issues right now.
That's a lot of wind. 15 miles an hour. Riding on board here with Alex Pollock, running an 18th. Familiar looking 92. Already lost 2 of our driver cams out of the 5 we had, so better get them while we got them. Big wobble for the 92.
And it's definitely, I mean, he's not the only one dealing with it for sure. Turn 2, definitely the trouble spot. Everyone's just trying to pedal the thing to get out of the corner, and it's only going to get worse and worse the more the tires wear. And we're only 5 laps into a run on green flag conditions, so these drivers are going to be all over the place. You don't want to be 3 wide when you're wiggling that much, but they're 3 wide for about the 9th spot.
Absolutely right about that. Let's get back up to that battle.
Whoa! Slider, Thomas Hartzog to the apron. Oh, there's another crash.
Yeah, they're wrecking. It's caution's going to be thrown here. There it is. I saw the 51, who we also have on driver cam, Zachary King, waving his hands back and forth. Figure something just happened, but I think that started off with Hartzog.
Hartzog immediately out of the session.
Instant throws a bit of a slider there. Oh, it just broke loose. Hit a bump.
That was the same thing the 88 did, and and then there was a separate crash with the 53, and he hit the inside wall really hard. That crash just took it away from him.
There's Bollinger, Cookout down in the grass,
and that was a separate crash that brought him down there. I'm not sure what put the 51 and 53 together.
Like 51 just broke loose trying to avoid it. The 05 right behind, maybe take the air off the spoiler a little bit, because this thing just went around and boom, right into the tire.
And you know, it's not realistic, but these next gen cars at iRacing, you can aero pack really hard on the driver behind you, and when someone's right on your bumper, it's going to take all that air off the spoiler. You're really not going to be able to drive it, and we've already seen how bad turn 2 is on your own. There's just no way to hold on to a car at that point.
Riding on board with King. 51, you see a little bit yacht out there, hit a bump, and around it went. And then he did get a little bit of contact, I think, from behind. That ended up hooking him to the right, but regardless, right into the side of the 51. And he got the black flag charged to him as well, so he will get the EOL for the next restart.
Yeah, had that car to the outside of him not been there, he probably saves it, but it was left front, the right rear contact, and it just right hooked him at the worst possible time.
So we are 16 laps in. I believe that is caution number 3 on the day. Devin Curl's led every lap so far, and we are running out of cars already in this one. Track temp, you mentioned it's hot, 91 Fahrenheit. So definitely toasty on the racetrack.
It'd definitely be worse, though. I've ran races where it's 130.
Yeah.
It could be so much worse. So it's actually not as bad as I previously thought, but clearly still a very slick racetrack. And that I got to imagine, because we really haven't seen any issues out of turn number 4, I got to imagine that wind in turn 2 is the real issue right now.
And this car is so aero-dependent with the rear diffuser that any kind of side force change, whether it's more or less, will definitely make this car a little light on its feet as well. Such a stiff suspension. You hit a bump, and this track is full of them. You get to hop in, and it changes the rear downforce of this car as well. So easy to slide, even when you don't expect to.
Yeah, that's going to, like you said, we're already running out of cars. I think we're going to be down 5 cars already. Lord Vincent, Reggie Kime, Brad Nelson, Isaac Brock's out, and Thomas Hartzog, who left the session after that crash as well. So we're already down only 30 cars, and some of those cars are still damaged outside the top 25 as well. So really, this is definitely a track where you're going to have to race the racetrack instead of the drivers today. That 2-3 wide stuff, probably save that for the last third of the race and just try to maintain your stuff. It very easily at this rate, it's going to be a race of survival.
Yeah, this race is turning more and more into a Darlington than I think any of us expected, because really that's what you do at Darlington is you race the racetrack for the first 80% of the race, then you start to figure out where your competitors are at the end and tune up from there. Yeah, drivers today probably have to employ a similar strategy, race the racetrack, and then just worry about your competitors when you get to the end of the race.
There's, we go to Darlington later in the season twice, get a Southern 500 there as well. There's a lot of tracks you race the racetrack. Darlington's one of them. I would say Dover is one of them as well. Those worn out tracks, very fast racetracks. You usually wouldn't put Chicagoland, even with it being slick. Usually Chicagoland's not the case, but right now I'd say you definitely got to bide your time.
You got to have a car to finish the race. Another restart, another great launch by the 15. Few drivers making big moves through the field already. Jewett is up 16 spots.
Oh, another crash. Another
there goes
crash.
the
Another
27.
spinner. He saved it. Wow, how did he keep that car straight? That was crazy.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back and watch that one. Christian Barnes put on a Gymkhana kind of save right there.
That turn 2 is going to be a problem with that wind. It's almost like the wind is gusting so hard that it's just knocking these cars sideways. I mean, I know cold tires is an issue as well, but this is another case where it looks like something breaks, it gets sideways so quick.
Yeah, a little bit of help from 17 saving it. Touched the wall a little bit, but somehow that car didn't crash. My goodness.
That was crazy. The wall and the driver definitely helped him. Looks like McCoy Benke, the 05, had the same thing happen. He slid, but he saved it. We're going to stay green one more time.
And up front, Dustin Lewis makes a charge at Devin Curl. New look on the 8, dropping the Budweiser scheme.
Wish I could see it. Trading Paint's not cooperating with me, but Devin Curl
Oh,
trying
car
to
just
cooperate
hard
with
into the
clean
wall.
air.
Gavin Hinson.
And that was another one where they just broke sideways, and he has probably broken the right front suspension with a hit that hard.
That car is killed. Saw parts and pieces flying off of it. He's got good right behind him. I don't know if that had any impact. Ullman in front. That's Robertson in that Matt Kenseth 17. Might have been after Kenseth. I could be wrong about that. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Yeah, just loose on his own, and boom. Got a large part of that wall.
And it's so hard, these next-gen cars, not to overcorrect it because of how the steering is compared to older generations of these cars. So you have two options, and usually you don't have the option to save it. It's a secret third option. You're usually never going to make it work as the Battle of the Lead heats up with Curl and Lewis, but you're either going to spin it out or you're going to right hook into the outside wall, and unfortunately he just couldn't hold on to that one.
Yeah, really the only way to save this car is to stomp on the brake pedal and hope that no one runs into the back of you. Oh,
Lewis.
Big slide for Lewis. Saves it. That's going to be the risk of pushing too hard. I think you're going to overheat the right rear tire and get yourself in trouble.
And all these drivers, you would think they had the setup ready to deal with it, but clearly you just can't combat turn 2 with any sort of setup combination right now. Everyone's having issues.
I think that wind is the great difference in this one. I don't know if the wind was as heavy in the test session.
It's almost like you can't even get on the throttle there in turns 1 and 2 right now. Even Devin Curl just walked it up the racetrack a little bit, and you can see how spread out things have gotten because of how treacherous it is.
Right on board a lap. This is with Pfiffner back in 8th spot. A little bit dirty air to contend with.
You almost wonder if the outside wall, just because of how bad it is in 1 and 2, just running right next to the wall might be your best option.
Right. At least if you hit the wall, it's not going to hit very hard.
And maybe you can use that outside wall to maybe to save the right rear quarter panel, possibly.
Yeah, made it through the corner fine that time.
You can see everyone's rear end just really sticking out, especially late on exit. And all these yellows have kind of put everyone who hasn't pit, really everyone who has, whether you have or haven't pit, it's put everyone in an interesting situation because you can probably make it to about 15-ish laps to go before the end of the stage now, but you definitely still can't make it. That might make that decision to stay out a little more viable at the end of the stage.
Yeah, it's going to be curious what the strategy will look like. We get a little bit closer to the end of the stage, just about to halfway in that stage as Curl goes way to the top of the racetrack. 15 looking good so far. Led every lap as we're catching lap traffic. That's Bollinger in a destroyed 53. I think Corey Powell in a limping 29 as well.
And Bollinger's just going to get out of the way. That car's so damaged. It's well off pace, but at least he's still in the race. And that was really weird out of turn number 4. It almost looked like Devin Curl is just driving it into 3, almost purposely trying to drift it to the top part of the racetrack. Just getting a little bit of tight off the corner. And you can see River Hayes, who's moved his way up to 2nd, gets a pretty good run off of 4 because of that.
You have to wonder if maybe because 3 and 4 typically runs tighter here than 1 and 2 does. If maybe he's purposely trying to get heat in the right front tire to make it drive better in 1 and 2 versus having the car be so loose. That's my only guess here.
That could be possible. There's certainly tracks like that. I would say that's something you would like to do usually at Iowa because the tires there just burn off so quickly, or at least at the older version of Iowa that I've ran, it just burns off so quickly. You got to be careful of something like that. You got a little bit too high. At least tap the wall there, but definitely could be a strategy you would play at certain tracks like that where you just need to heat up that right front so you're not sliding everywhere.
Drivers are finally starting to get it together here on this set of tires. Top 6 or so together. Oh, someone just went for a ride. That was Robertson. It's just as I said that.
He saved it, though.
He did.
About 3 or 4 saves on this run alone. And it sucks every time you slide the tires. I mean, you're probably never going to get the grip back in the tires. You're going to have to be really tiptoeing at a turn 2 and even turn 4 the rest of the run when you do that.
Every time you slide, it gets easier to slide, and the worse it gets, and then it just continues to compound. Big slide here for Jewett, same thing.
Oh,
the roof cam for that
goodness.
one. I could feel that one from here.
I don't want to feel that one, but we definitely had no choice but to do it, and he's still trying to fight that thing. But that's the issue when you finally slide that. It's almost inevitable you're going to slide at a 2 at once. It's whether or not you destroy the car doing it, and then if you don't destroy the car, great, I still have a car, but now the tires are mad at me, and I still got to make it 35 laps or so on this set.
And you're going to continue to slide and slide and slide if you do it once, right? It's like locking up the tire when you're under braking. You lock it up. It gets easier to lock it up every single time. So, yeah, definitely you got to be careful as a driver. And I think they're all screaming to get the tires off the car and hit here for fresh Goodyears.
Yeah, remember, we could only go, 33, 37 laps on a tank, but, with those 3 yellows, you probably save a few laps. Maybe these drivers can get to lap 40. It's all about how long they want to stretch the tires because you have to pit one way or another, and you got to factor stage points into it. If you want a short pit, maybe try to steal some stage points. You might see some drivers do that as well.
Yeah, with having so few tires that's available for how many times you're going to have to pit, I'm not sure if you want to get off sequence with the leaders. I think you probably just want to stay with what the leaders are doing to avoid putting yourself in a box.
We'll see if we get to that point. It's still not a foregone conclusion. And even with how out of control these cars seem to be, still battles all around the racetrack. Zach Davidson trying to go to battle with Aaron Baum for that 15th position. Baum got bailed out by the last yellow. He was able to serve his drive-through, stay on the lead lap, and he's already climbed into the top 15.
Yeah, been a great rebound. Few drivers up a lot of spots. Beckett Brown is plus 29 positions. Started last in the field up to the 5th spot. Derek Jewett is plus 15. Dustin Lewis is up 14 spots. 11 for Caleb Hunt, 14 for Robertson, 15 for Ullman. A lot of drivers making their way through the field. That means someone has to drop through the field. Your bottom 5, Hinson, Hartzog, Brock, Kime, Nelson, and Vincent all losing 9 or more spots, and they will not return to the racetrack.
Yeah, Hartzog started 4th, and Isaac Brock started 9th. Just did not get the starts they probably deserved. It looked like someone had a slide out of 4, but couldn't quite catch who it is.
Oh, out of 4. Out of 2 was Davidson, maybe out of 4. Did not see that one.
Couldn't quite see who that was as some lap cars get out of the way. Saw River Hayes close in on the race leader for a moment. Actually almost got the race lead away. Matter of fact, he did lead.
Oh, big slide for the 43 behind him. Hold on to it, Janik. My goodness.
Woo. Caution's out, though. Crash out of 2 is McCoy Benke, who we were just looking at. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder if he maybe got loose a little bit. It's hard to say.
Maybe where he got loose. I don't know. It could be a number of places.
Same thing
we've seen.
Yeah, same thing we've seen all night, and then just snapped right back in front of Davidson. Nowhere he could go. That's
a shame. Davidson, another situation. A lot of drivers who are going to have big damage tonight just nowhere to go when something like that happens. And this will definitely open the door. Everyone's probably going to have to pit right here.
Yeah, there's no better spot to pit than this moment. I mean, it's basically tailor-made to make it to the end of the stage on just a 20-lap run. I would throw tires on it here probably. Just at the very least to see how bad it was on tires throughout that first run, and then just make your plan from there.
It's like I would think Corey Powell will get back on the lead lap through this. You will definitely see everyone take 4 tires. I don't think there's a universe where you see drivers take fuel only in this scenario. The fall off on that run, time-wise, was actually not too much. It was about 8/10 to a second for Devin Curl, who was in the lead. So maybe add a few tenths to that for the drivers in dirty air, but not as much as I thought. Just
Fuel
a very
only
sketchy
for Curl.
track.
Yeah, no tires on the 15 or the 81.
It just seems sketchy to do that at a track like this. But, you know, in this next-gen car, the track position matters. That dirty air, it really it matters to get out of that. So it's not too surprising because of how important clean air is in these cars. But with how all over the place everyone seemed to be, it is still a little surprising.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Clayton Good, Isaac Wilson, Alex Pollock, Charles Robertson, Christian Barnes, and Joshua Gillen stay out. They all pit about 20 laps ago. They're going to be short 4 to 5 laps from what I can calculate to the end of the stage. This is going to be curious, to say the least.
Clayton Good pit lap 16, which would I would assume that means that's where everyone else around him
Yes.
really pits.
Same
so
lap for
that would
everyone.
They'll push it about 39 laps to the stage end. Then you got to pace around at least a lap or two to get the pit road. Not impossible, maybe, but I think it is going to be a little bit tight. I mean, we're seeing so much off-throttle time because I think of the wind and the weather that as we get to choose here, maybe they have a chance to make it. They're definitely betting on it, or at least maybe betting on another yellow or something. It is a little risky, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news is that, or maybe good news for them, bad news for us, for fuel mileage, maybe they're realizing that all the cars on the racetrack at once is making it so you have to have more off-throttle time. That's going to change our fuel number. So instead of being 34 to 37, it might get shifted up a little bit, maybe 35 to 38. Maybe you can push it to 40 on a normal run. It's going to be curious the rest of the way. Al Zukov, black flag, I believe a choose violation of sorts.
He'll go to the back. He was in about the 19th position. Choose was called good, so he did get an EOL. I'm not sure.
Maybe speeding on pit road, something of that nature. Hard to say.
Could have been speeding. It looks like it was speeding, at least from my view. It looked like Zukov sped, so he'll go to the back and have to gain all those spots. He had started 31st, and he was making his way up, but he's got to start almost from square one.
Off of turn 4. Just under 20 laps left to go in the stage. Good and Wilson lead the way. Good with the launch. We are going again here. Let's see if we can get to the end of stage 1 under green. We're going to see very quickly how important new tires are. Watching the 81.
And I don't think he did not take tires. He only took fuel only,
fuel
so
only,
we're just
you're
going to
right.
see how much better of a driver it was. He chose a lot better than the 15 of Curl. He jumped him about 2 or 3 rows, so out of those drivers who have the fuel for sure to make it, he's got the advantage right now. We'll see how much of a speed difference is between those guys. Really the first time those two specifically have been in very dirty air.
Right, and Jewett's the first driver on the 4 fresh tires, so we'll see what the 45's able to do, if anything. Going to get a good run here as Robertson got tight off the corner, had to lift a little bit. He will lose 2 spots in the course of the backstretch.
But they look good right now. He's already close to the back of River Hayes, and it's just all about saving those sets, though. You got to balance it, remember, with kind of the limited amount of sets, the shorter fuel tank. Right. You're going to have to pit a lot, so it's a balance of saving those tires and, you know, knowing when to save them, knowing when to use them. As Hayes got a big wiggle as they're 3 wide for about the 6th position, 5th position now, and that's Derek Jewett going up the middle, getting by River Hayes.
Now, what I'm seeing here is tires are not as big of a deal as we thought, as the 19 also did not take tires. They're even through the corner, so I'm thinking tires not going to matter as much as long as you don't abuse them. It's really about fuel mileage the rest of the way.
Definitely seeing at least a little bit of difference. Maybe not as big as you would see at other times at Chicagoland, but definitely to the point where Caleb Hunt could still battle that 45, as looks like the 92 had a wiggle.
Yeah, Lewis
Alex
on the
Pollock.
apron too.
I didn't see why Lewis was on the apron, but you can see just that little extra grip making just enough of a difference for Jewett to get through these guys. Now he's in a really good spot to go try to get the stage win.
That's all in front of the 45. As the battle's on behind him, 2 by 2.
Oh, River Hayes tried kind of to slide up in front of the 92, couldn't do it. It's going to cost him a spot to Charles Robertson. It's going to let Devin Curl get back to his inside. Really hard to make that slide job work when the car is as out of shape as it is, and he tried chasing it up the track. He just lost all his momentum, and in these next-gen cars, it really doesn't matter where you are. The momentum matters a lot.
It really, really does. This car, more than most we race with, you just cannot seem to generate speed on your own. You have to just keep it going and maintain it. And back here at Michael Wade in 17th spot. New team. First race with C4 Racing.
Reppin' VSPEED.
Reppin' VSPEED. Gotta love it. Jewett gets to the inside and clears Wilson.
Yeah, just that little grip just making a lot of difference right now. I saw it in 1 and 2. He just was able to get on throttle so much earlier, and he had so much more confidence on it to where he could plant that throttle a lot more than that 93 of Isaac Wilson. But how about Isaac Wilson? He got damaged in the very first yellow. He's kind of plays strategy to get back to the front as Alex Pollock is kind of fishtailing out of turn 2.
Yeah, there's a reason why Isaac Wilson's the points leader right now, and it's because he's finished the top 5 every week, and you only do that with consistently strong runs and minimizing mistakes. Done a great job at that so far this season.
The lead's about to be on as, Derek Jewett, those tires kind of 0.3 of a second per lap faster, even in dirty air. He's just able to drive that bottom line and get right up to the left rear of Clayton Good.
Going to side draft, pull him back down the straightaway. He's going to be alongside into 3. Good fights back on the top side. Moyer is around. Oh, Jewett lost a lot of ground there.
He did. He lost a lot of ground, had a really big moment out of 4, was able to save it. David Moyer went through the grass down the back, but he was able to save it, but thought Derek Jewett was going to have a good chance to win this stage, but he lost a lot of time with that slide out of 4. Now he's got to work back all the way up there. Another slide. That was Devin Curl who led the first part of this race. Now he's going backwards.
Oh, don't slide in front of traffic. Oh,
Woo.
Man, John Ullman did a great job getting on the brakes there. That could have been a lot worse. I had vision
Right in front
to
of
the
a
15, right in front of the wall.
Right in front of a Slim Chickens car, too.
Yeah, that's a good spot for sponsorship right there.
As long as you don't get into the 5, it's even much better. As this racing is frantic, everyone trying to get these points. There's 2, 3 wide, and there's not a lot of room for it. They're hitting for that 6th position. Right now, Alex Pollock is the cork in the bottle, and he will not move or budge. Aaron Baum's all the way back up almost into the top 5.
You might get around all of them. Oh, 48 with a big wiggle in the middle of the racetrack. Beckett Brown still trying to save it, still wobbling back and forth.
Oh.
I think he saved it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was even better than the last one we saw. That was crazy, and he had no help from any other car straightening him out. That was pure car control. That was incredible stuff.
Yeah, that was wild, wild save on that one.
Oh, another slide. Oh, this one's a spin. Michael Wade spinning down the back straightaway. No yellow yet. Looks like we're going to stay green.
Yeah, we stay green.
And side by side for the lead, Derek Jewett already back to the front.
Tires starting to matter here at the back part of this run. Dirty air is going to play a factor as well. Kelly really tight on the high side, going to park it in front of the leaders.
Oh, man. Oh, car in the wall in the back, and it's Devin Curl, and he got put in the wall, I think, by Joshua Gillen, and he's got damage.
Then we'll go see what happened to the 15 here. Turning point in the race for a lot of this field.
That's a shame for Curl, who led the first part of this race, and that one slide put him in a bad spot. Derek Jewett still doesn't have this lead. So
oh, yeah, Gillen got loose,
this.
and yeah, he just tagged the 15 in a big way.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go at all. Nothing you can do about it. Again, Jewett lost all this time.
Yeah, he's just not able to really wind up the bottom in 3 and 4. It's where he's losing a lot of his time right now. He just can't complete that pass. He's got 5 laps to do it.
I almost wonder if you have to. Oh, he's going to try and get it here.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. I thought they were going to wreck down the backstretch.
Clayton Good got in the wall just trying to give him room, and the 45 just bred him up there anyways. But right here is where the 45 struggling to get out of the corner. As long as the 91 could stay to the right rear, he could keep that, and there's more contact. They're still hitting.
Oh my goodness, they're really dooring each other here.
This is where Jewett's been so good out of turn 2, able to get the throttle down. It's going to be hard for Clayton Good to defend.
Already got the clear. All he has to do is slide up in front of him. He will clear. New leader, 45.
A little bit of a block there. Big block. No more contact of a left rear quarter panel. Clayton Good's going to try to fight this, but I don't think he has the tire to do so. He's going to stay to the inside, though. Really good run out of 4.
Yeah, he's holding tough. Jewett's got to figure something out in 3 and 4. He's getting beat every lap in that corner. These two are going at it.
A little early for banging doors. It's just it is points, but it's stage 1, guys. Let's get to the actual finish first. 91's going to slide.
Big slide.
Yeah, see, that's where the tires are making the biggest difference. The 45 is so much better out of turn number 2, but 3 and 4, it's pretty even. So Clayton Good, he tried to get the throttle at the same point. He just doesn't have the grip to do it.
And how about Aaron Baum? Up to 4th. Get a
Finally
drive-through.
dispatched.
Not that long ago. Oh, I think Jewett hit the wall.
He looked like he hit it pretty good. Lost a lot of time. Caleb Hunt got to that 2nd position past Clayton Good.
Oh, big slide for Good again.
Boy. Another good save. These drivers are showing out, but I bet a lot of them wish they weren't getting this sideways.
Landon Kelly meatball flag. He will be out of the race. That's 26th position.
Landon Kelly, not sure if he hit the wall again or what. He's had damage. It could just be a flat tire from suspension damage. We'll see.
That is possible.
Final lap of the stage. Jewett's getting away. Oh, another spin. 17 car sliding. He saved it again.
Save.
Oh, my goodness. This is ridiculous. We could just do a top 10 from this race alone.
Absolutely. Drivers are showing out, as you said. Derek Jewett out of turn number 4. He will win stage number 1 here in Chicagoland. Caution should be out here. There it is.
And all those drivers who stayed out, it looks like everyone made it on fuel. So that didn't end up being a concern.
Absolutely. There is your stage winner. Let's take the opportunity to highlight the top 10. Jewett, Hunt, Baum, Wilson, Pfiffner, Davidson, Brown, Hayes, Good, and Barnes with another rebound after that big slide earlier. That is the top 10. They will get stage points. 10 for Jewett, 1 for Barnes, and working down the list from there.
Yeah, Clayton Good, just good job hanging on for stage points after how big of a slide they had, multiple slides. Alex Pollock almost hung on for stage points. They were really the cork in the bottle, holding a lot of drivers up. They just couldn't hang on for much longer. You did see some drivers there who didn't take tires or just stayed out, able to get some stage points there.
Absolutely. That was wild, to say the least. I don't think I expected that. Considering how the last 2 nights of races have gone, I was not expecting that many cars to just lose control seemingly out of nowhere in turns 1 and 2. Of course, the wind playing a massive factor, but wow. If you would have told me there's only going to be 25 cars left out of a 35-car field after 55 laps, I would have said there's no way in the Mystic Racing League.
And it's going to be a shift in the points because Devin Curl did park it, left the session, so 4th in points will drop through the order a little bit. River Hayes should go in that spot. Another number of other drivers going to gain spots. As pretty much everyone's going to come down for at least fuel. You should see some drivers take tires here, though.
Caleb Hunt miscommunication drove through the 45.
I can tell. I guess they thought they were going to be ghosted, and they were not ghosted. You know how iRacing is. Eventually, when you get into those stalls, you eventually go through each other, and it just didn't happen. And I don't think there's any damage, but they'll lose some spots.
Yeah, the time is the big damage on this one. To put a bow on the point situation, Colin Bollinger, who's up at the top 3 in points, also out of the race. Let's have a chat with Derek Jewett, stage winner. If we can find him.
Let's see. Damn Motorsports.
Derek Jewett, Morgan and Connor up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, Morgan.
Well, stage 1 winner. You put the tires on, drove through the field. How are we feeling after winning that first stage?
very enthusiastic. No, I'm kidding. Let's go, baby. Nah, that was fun. Yeah, slapping 4 tires on, running through the field. Started 21st in the race and carving through. Golly, man, it's been a race.
Yes, it has been. You seem to have trouble getting around the 91. Eventually, you're able to make that spot happen and then drive away from it. What do you need a little bit more of in 3 and 4 to be able to take it to these guys?
That I don't know. I'm gonna lean on my buddy P1 right now, Aaron Brom, to kind of teach me. He's struggling 1 and 2. I'm struggling 3 and 4. So hopefully we can work together and figure this out. But shout out to CHGO. We got a stage win. So hopefully we can get it going here for stage 2, and we can finish 1-2 here for Dan Motorsports, Morgan.
Absolutely. Anything you got, Connor?
I just wanted to ask him about how surprised you are about how little grip there is at it too. I mean, we've seen half the field slide there already. It seems really on edge. Is it that bad for you?
It's mixed. Every lap it's like a roller coaster. 1 minute you're loose, next minute you're fighting to make the corner. So it should be interesting. Hopefully these guys can figure it out and we don't wreck, and hopefully we can stop using these seams as much and give each other room, and hopefully we can go green flag the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Good luck the rest of the way, Derek.
Thank you.
Stage winner, Derek Jewett. The other DAB Motorsports car launches from the restart zone. Aaron Baum out to about 3 car length lead right off the rip.
These restarts on cold tires for a lot of drivers, it's really been the treble spot where it's been hard to get out of turn 2 that first time around on the new tires. And it looks like just about everyone's going to get through. If only real life stage yellows were that quick.
Absolutely. Only a couple laps and we're back racing here. The admin team, the Mystic Racing League, making sure we are on point and efficient with our time, not racing.
And we're out of turn 4 as well. The clean air really makes a difference. We saw it when Devin Curl was leading. He was just able to get away from the rest of the field. Now Aaron Baum back to the front. Now he's to the front, pulling away. Beckett Brown gets second from Clayton Good.
Yeah, Brown drove hard those first couple laps. He went from about 4th on that restart up to 2nd as Good tags the wall a little bit. Side by side, Fifter and Davidson.
Maybe a little bit longer of a run, maybe under green for some of these drivers. We'll
Oh,
see.
big spin behind
on
him.
the front.
King. Oh, that's Hayes
River
in it.
Hayes. River Hayes second in points. Another car spinning. I think it's a 77. Zach White's going to tap the inside wall as well. So really weird spot. That was on the straightaway of the tri-oval.
I feel like he got hooked.
He had to have. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe a miscommunication here.
So 45, it's Jewett underneath.
Oh, yeah. He's just up the track in the tri-oval and nowhere for River Hayes to go. I think the 51 is anticipating Derek Jewett getting to at least the white line through the tri-oval, and Jewett was up a lane very clearly there.
Yeah, same thing happened in the Truck Series and the National Series as well this weekend. Just 2 drivers not quite sure where they're going to go, and one spins off the nose of the other. I don't think the damage is all that bad for the 51. A little bit on the left front, but I think Hayes got it worse than King did.
Oddly enough, 81, not sure how bad that 81 car looks. It looks pretty good coming by the turn 2 camera. I don't know if maybe he got suspension damage out of it. We'll see if he comes out at least check it.
It looks good for here.
That'd be pretty fortunate if that's the case. Somehow it looks like maybe, I think the 51's got some left front damage. 51-77 kind of equally got the worst of it because Zach White spun in that one pretty late, went towards the inside wall. But either way, that could have been a lot bigger. Spinning in the tri-oval in front of the whole field, that could have been 20 cars very easily.
Definitely could have been. Great job by a lot of guys being able to avoid that one. Hayes will bring it down pit road just to make sure. Zukov follows him in. I think we'll see the 51 bring it down as well to fix that left front damage.
Hayes' wheel looks straight from our point of view, so I think he might just take fuel and just make sure he doesn't have damage. I mean, he hit so hard, you would have thought it might have even broken that suspension.
It might be bent a little bit. Not quite sure if that's just the, I don't know if that's just the offset he's running or if that's the wheel not straight.
Just rolling down pit lane. His wheel was totally straight because it is open set. You can run anything you want. But for what it's worth, his wheel was straight. 51s didn't look straight. Looked like
Oh,
he
I was
might have gotten
talking
the
about King.
suspension.
Yeah, okay, so we're on the same page then. Yeah, I think Hayes is fine, I think.
Yeah.
But King definitely got some toe damage from that one.
That's just going to make it handle a lot worse. Going to be probably the loose is going to be even more loose out of 2, and the tight's going to be even more tight out of 4. And the tire wear, especially, is where you're going to have issues when you have the toe bends out like that. It's going to be a struggle until you can get that fully repaired.
Yeah, it's just going to exacerbate any issue that you have. It's just going to be worse than what it was. And at this racetrack where the both ends are handling so differently, yeah, that is definitely not what you want, is a amplified bad handling setup.
No, you just want the wind to go fully away, but it's not going to happen. Right. It's going to be a struggle to get that fully repaired. But, you know, with the way the damage model is nowadays in iRacing, you pretty much can get it fully repaired to the point where Landon Kelly, who has a lot of damage, if we get enough yellows for him, he could probably get that 95 car repaired and back in action. He's been taking damage repair really every yellow since he got damage. But it's one of the neat things about the next-gen car. It's really the suspension damage you have to look out for, which is the issue with him. Sometimes that's hard to fully repair, so worry if that's the case for him, but we'll see if he can get back in it.
The driver's still just trying to survive. 65 laps into 2:07. A little recap for you. 6 cautions. 1 for the stage, 5 for cause, with 5 lead changes to go along with it. Baum has led the last handful of laps since the stage. And Isaac Wilson, points leader on the outside of the racetrack, going to try and take the lead away.
One of those drivers who's had their repair damage has gotten back to the front. That attrition rate continues to pick up. We're down 8 cars. Colin Bollinger is still racing. He's just 10 laps down after having a lot of damage repair. And Landon Kelly is the only other driver a lap down.
I'm also racing. 32 laps down.
Yeah, he's able to fully repair that thing. But he's just going to try to gain points wherever he can.
Big jump outside line, did not go.
See Isaac Wilson trying to commit to blocking that bottom. Zach Davidson had to lift there. It was a pretty late block there by the 93.
Then he's going to shoot up the racetrack in front of Pfiffner. Talk about a cork in a bottle here. We're going to get all sorts of compressed. Here comes Pollock to the bottom, elevator move.
Let those top 2 get such a big gap over the rest of the field, and it's chaos third on back.
Got 3 wide for the third row here.
Isaac Wilson got kind of arrow tight there, really checked up Derek Jewett, but Jewett got that good run off the corner like he has been all night long. He's able to get to the outside and just clear him into turn number 3. But once again, he's been talking about how turn 4 is a trouble spot. He's got to figure that out. Had a pretty good corner there.
A little further back. 5 cars under a blanket. Oh, that was close from Caleb Hunt up into the side of Barnes at 27. How about the rebound for the 79? Was last at one point in this race, a lap down. Dale Tucker the third, able to rebound and keep it going the right direction.
He repaired that car, Loyalty Automotive Toyota Camry. Trying to get to the front. He's one of those drivers trying to utilize that outside line. I've always loved using that outside line in 1 and 2. It just flows so much better. But in 3 and 4, there's bumps up there to the point where it's kind of hard to make the top line work up there. But when tires wear out enough, the handling goes away enough, you will see that top line work in 3 and 4 like it does in 1 and 2.
And funny, I always found it the opposite. I always struggled to run the top in 1 and 2. I'd always be on the bottom, but then the top in 3 and 4, because the bumps you're talking about, that's a good spot to throttle up. As soon as that car starts bouncing, hammer on the throttle, and it usually pitches a little bit, and you're able to get some good rotation off the top side.
Depends on your setup. Really, next gen doesn't stop bouncing at a track like this.
That's a good point.
You work with springs and such to try to get that better. But I just always felt like the flow of 1 and 2, there's just something more equal about it. It's kind of hard to explain, more symmetrical. You can kind of carry a lot more speed through the center. I always felt in 1 and 2 than you could in 3 and 4. It just always flowed a lot more. You carry so much speed down that back straightaway. Not really straight, but it's still technically a straightaway.
See, that's why you alluded to it right there. It's not a straightaway. It's a big arc on the back there, it doesn't ever actually go straight. So that's probably why it's easier to run the top side 1 and 2, because you're not having to cut it off with the sharp join of the corner to the straightaway, like in Kansas or Vegas. Oh, big slide for Hunt.
Slider.
Saved it.
Saves it. Still fighting it. Columbia Bank, Toyota Camry. He's going to go to the back. Happens just that easy.
We've seen it all night. I mean, drivers that don't look like they're going to get sideways, all of a sudden they are 45 pointed the wrong direction and about wrecking their vehicles.
You know, how sharp the exit is as a 4. It's probably part of the reason why it didn't work. I've always felt like Richmond 3 and 4, you used to be able to run the top at Richmond 3 and 4 in older gens of cars. You can't really do it anymore the way the track is, but 1 and 2, it would work until you got to the exit turn 2, because that back straightaway, the exit is so sharp. You just can't do that without hitting the outside wall. It's kind of how the exit of 4 is here.
Yeah, it comes up a lot faster than you think it does. You look out, kind of like in Nashville, where you look out at turn 4 and you say, oh, I have so much room to exit the corner, and all of a sudden, bang, there's a wall right there, and that will damage your day in a hurry.
Not to mention, it's kind of weird because you have the safer barrier on exit there. The safer barrier only goes away when you're really past the exit of 4, so that wall juts out a little more than it would usually if that wasn't the case.
See, there's where the safer barrier goes away. Usually that would be, yeah. It's interesting at this racetrack where the safer barrier is. It's not all the way around the racetrack like you would expect. There are parts where it's just concrete.
Whoa,
Wade, big slide.
Slider. Alex Pollock and Michael Wade, and Wade has damage on that right front. I think in the real world, this will have safer barriers. It's a pretty old scan. Should get a new scan since the series is coming back, but not quite yet. The safer barrier out of 2 is actually more problematic.
Yeah, just another slide by the 5. No contact from the 92. Oh, he caught the wall pretty good.
He had to swerve a little bit to try to avoid that 5 initially. It just caught him sideways. Another slide at the back. Zach White saved it, but that was Michael Wade just trying not to cause a crash. He could have spun it down into the 92, chose to correct it. Did a good job keeping it straight, but then that second snap, it's so hard to, even if you do catch it the first time, you have that second snap, and it's just hard to do anything about it. He's staring into our soul right there. You see that glance? That caught me by surprise.
He knows he's on VSPEED. He knows it. Oh, he's still sideways, still trying to save it. Look at the hands.
Eyes forward.
Eyes forward in the VSPEED number 5. Not even watching where he's going, just looking at us.
If someone could do a lap around here not looking at the track under these conditions, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a lot of damage, but he's going to have to deal with that really until our second stage yellow. It's really going to be the last, obviously it is the last scheduled yellow. So if you have damage, that's going to be probably your last guaranteed chance to, we might have yellows, but it's really going to be your last chance to repair, so you got to be on your toes.
Yeah, you are correct in that regard. Beckett Brown has caught up to our leader. Eric Jewett joined that fight as well. Zach Davidson, it's a party up at the front.
Battle for the lead. Beckett Brown got it a lap or so ago, but then he got loose out of 2, lost it, and is actually falling back, having to get this position back. But kind of have these 7 cars or so all the way back to Fiffner who've kind of broken away from the main line of cars, and they're just battling amongst themselves for top 5 positions.
And this is the Chicagoland that we all know and love. Multi-groove, you can go wherever you need to go. Everyone is trying to manage an ill-handling race car. You see 3 different lines for your front 3. Everyone's struggling, everyone saw it on the wheel. Oh, big slide, Whoa. That's Wilson in the grass.
Whoa, hold on to it. I thought he was gonna, he was head for the inside wall. He's still trying to fight it through the grass. He made up all those spots, he's gonna have to do it again.
Well, it's pretty fun to pass, I think. Anyway, Beckett Brown, for the moment, takes the lead away. He will clear into turn number 1. New leader, 48.
Caleb Hunt, new driver out of the race. We saw that one slide. It looks like he had a crash at a turn 4 that did not bring out the yellow multiple laps ago, really 4 laps ago, so he's out of the race now. As this battle for the lead heats up, looks like Aaron Baum maybe wore the tires out too much. He's starting to fade after being in clean air.
Well, his teammate Derek Jewett did mention that Baum was struggling in 1 and 2, and that's where it's loose. So if you're struggling to the point where it's not turning, you're really going to be struggling in 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah. You saw it right there. That car just walked up the racetrack, you know, in the middle of turn 1. He definitely wore in the right rear out of that car, and he's going to be struggling till he can get the pit road.
That pit stop should be about 10 to maybe 15 laps from now. Fiftner to the outside. Oh, I think Wade with another big slide.
Couldn't quite see if he was
On the apron
able
again.
to catch that. Looks like he did. And now that's out of turn 4. So it's almost like maybe the wind's shifting, because we're seeing a lot of drivers have issues out of turn 4 now.
Saw this one on the onboard with the hands. Yeah, I think that is just wind, I think.
It very well could be. Didn't really see too much of a bump in that specific part. Another great save. Another bout of car control, but it's almost like maybe that wind is maybe starting to shift a little bit. You're still seeing drivers slide out of 2. So
big one.
There goes another one. Harold Tucker.
79. Wow.
And another save. Oh my gosh. We only need a top 20.
That could have been a promo video. Wow. That was perfectly timed.
That was a great shot.
Thank you, Dougie Beard, for the cameras, allowing us to capture something quite like that. Big love for Beckett Brown in the chat. Thank you, Heather, for comments and all of that.
Oh, another spin. Tucker couldn't save it this time. He's going to go through the grass. This is going to be probably not a yellow.
Yeah, single car spin doesn't typically cause a yellow in this series. Clayton Good, I think, was part of that too. Pollock almost caught the ball.
I think Robertson. I think there was a lot of drivers who slid out of 2 that time. It kind of just piled up. No damage for Tucker. It looks like it's a limping. He will probably not bring it to pit road. He's got to stay on track a little longer. A battle of a lead, you know, not really heated up. You got Brown running the bottom, Davidson running the top. Still kind of trying to figure out which line's better for each driver running their own line. Right now, Beckett Brown's been pulling away just a little bit the last few laps.
We are slowly catching up to a lap car. That's Corey Powell. And Powell's driving bottom to top. That's going to hurt Davidson on the exit. There he goes, catches the wall with the arrow tight.
And he was so far back for what you'd expect, but that's how much aero push there is. I mean, just him crossing lines like that, there's no chance for the 0-1 to make the corner without hitting the wall.
Further back, Knopfschneider getting passed by Hayes. So clearly the 81 not damaged too bad in that accident we saw a little bit ago. Back up to 11th position, fighting for stage points.
Should be able to get close to the top 10. He's got a ways to go before he gets to Alex Pollock in 9th. Actually just got by Christian Barnes, who had a little wiggle attitude, but nothing serious compared to what we've seen. There was another car to the apron. That's Knopfschneider right there having to dart out of the way. That's how you make passes here. You just wait to see who slides out of your way.
Kind of like a road course. You're just waiting for someone else to make a mistake.
Just wait for the mistake. That's exactly right. But not being the guy making the mistake has proven a challenge, as Beckett Brown just slid out of turn number 2. And Davidson slid as well, so he couldn't quite get a good enough of a run to take the lead.
This is one of those races where you need a car, like a shot on every car at the same time, like a mosaic, and you'd probably still not catch everything.
Need like 20 drones, and we're cutting everywhere around this racetrack, trying because there is action everywhere. I mean, there's cars all around this racetrack like a conveyor belt right now.
On pit road.
This is scheduled. This is first scheduled stop for these drivers. Remember, they can't make it on the fuel, so this is going to be scheduled. This is a short pit, trying to get some track position, trying to get some stage points here. He pit from 9th.
We saw tires play a bit of a factor in that first stage. You got 25 laps from here to the end.
Here comes Jewett.
Probably same strategies before. Put tires on it. Good in as well. Oh, Good's going to crash up the racetrack.
Oh, look out. Oh, my goodness. That almost took out someone there. It's not going to be a yellow. Somehow got at the pit lane.
He hit the apron, and it just shot all the way to the right. Bombs on pit road as well.
That could have easily been a yellow. There's a car crashed out of the back straight. Reggie Kimes got big damage again.
Oh,
He's wrecked out of turn number 2.
It is not
along
time.
with David Moyer.
Oh, Moyer part of it as well. Oh, I think Moyer's the one who spun first.
Oh, wow. How is that not a yellow? Wow.
I think the reason is that car looked a lot like the outside wall.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, that one should probably finish off the 9 car.
It will. Meatball flag, same with the 47. KFC certainly got deep fried on this one.
Still miss their Nashville hot tenders. That's besides the point, though. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Moyer just,
that's a big hit.
overcorrected.
And then here comes Kime. Baboof.
You know, we don't know how many people are in the admin booth. If it's one admin, they can't see the whole track. They're not looking everywhere.
Absolutely.
So it just could be an unfortunate scenario where they just did not catch it. And by the time they might have seen it, the track was clear. So it is what it is. Sometimes that can happen. But that definitely stopped the drivers from pitting. We haven't seen many pit stops the last few laps after that. Everyone thinking there might be a yellow.
And that's one thing that to give race control some credit. Every driver who's ever raced in any series, anywhere, has always complained about race control. You know, why didn't they throw this? Why they didn't throw it soon enough? They threw it too late. They shouldn't have thrown it. Whatever the case is for cautions, it is incredibly difficult to get it right. And I give props to anyone who's brave to step up in the booth and push the buttons and make sure everyone is able to follow the directions and all of that for these races. Beckett Brown's going to bring it down pit road because it is a lot harder than it looks to be up there and throwing cautions in a competent manner.
I do it on Tuesday night. It's very difficult. It's especially difficult if you only have one monitor, but thankfully now I have 3, so maybe it'll get a little bit easier. But Jewett's trying to get through traffic. Race leader just came down. I would not imagine these drivers can go that much further on a tank of gas. We went green around lap 66, and that would dictate, well, they could probably make it maybe 10 or so more laps, but it's going to be a tight squeeze. You probably don't want to go that far, jeopardize your stage standing.
I think Davidson, Janik, Pfiffner, Lewis, and Pollock have to come down here in the next 2 to 3 laps. Hayes can go about 8 more. He pit a little bit later because of the caution where he was involved with the 51.
We'll see if that ends up maybe paying dividends for River Hayes, getting through the field, having that extra fuel.
Yeah, if he can catch a caution, that would be a big change to the momentum for the 81 in this race.
Another pitter. Here comes, trying to see who that is. That's Pfiffner, 55 car, so that's P3 into the pits.
This is the battle for third right now. Pollock and Lewis. Tucker the third is a lap down, at least 2 laps down after the spin.
A little bit of right front damage as well. But you can see this is pretty far back from our race leader as Jared Knopfsnyder came down the pit. And speaking of race leader, here comes Zach Davidson pitting.
Going to leave Evan Janik out on the racetrack. I imagine we'll see the Janik machine in here in just a couple of moments.
That short pit can be pretty valuable with how important clean air track position is. That's a big slide. That was Beckett Brown just trying to hustle on the new tires, clean air. He's trying to make use of it. Janik's on the bottom, so they'll have clean air. We'll see if Janik comes down. Doesn't look like he will, so he'll go a little longer. But that short pit's pretty valuable in a car where clean air is king, and those drivers will see if they're able to hold on to it because you had drivers at this point that pit 8 to 10 laps ago as some of those top 3 runners are in. Here comes Dustin Lewis in. Looks like Colin Bollinger.
Yeah. We're still 26, 10 laps down, but still reason to fight in this one. Team points, and stage points, and all that fun stuff. Still important.
Michael Wade. Here comes a 5 car down.
I think that is Wade. I think you're right.
And here comes Evan Janik. Not an easy pit entry either. He go from one of those 1.5 miles where you have to go from the banking down onto the flat. And that transition in these next-gen cars is worse than it's ever been for any Cup car. And it's really hard to get them slowed down because of that, although the brakes are pretty good. But that transition really catches drivers out. Alex Pollock, River Hayes, they came down the pit as well. leaves, I believe, Robertson in the lead.
Yeah, Robertson leading. See, Pollock, I think, just... Oh, yeah, because Pollock's on pit road right now. Robertson should inherit the lead here. Isaac Wilson will be the next car to inherit it. Cochran still has another probably 6 or so laps until he has to pit. Zach White's in that same boat as well. So, and here comes Robertson. Robertson missed pit entry. That's a black flag for the 17. Missed the cone. Oh, the 93 is spinning on pit entry.
Oh, my goodness.
Cochran's going to miss pit entry. That's Zach White missed pit entry.
Zach White.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't see a black flag for the 77. I do see one for the 17.
I have no idea how the 77 didn't get one and Cochran did. No idea.
Cochran did get one. 17 did get one. The 88 did as well. The 77, I don't believe did, which is surprising to me.
Wild stuff.
Yeah, 77's out of his box, all clear somehow.
Going to give Alan Zukov the lead over Joshua Gillen. Only 2 drivers yet to hit the pit lane, praying for a caution. They got about 4 more laps they can run before the tank is totally dry.
Really trying to keep pace on where everything's sorting out. You got some of those drivers who were the race leaders. Janick cycled out. He cycled out 5 seconds behind Beckett Brown. So Beckett Brown's had a really good cycle. He's going to have some older tires to deal with, but that big of a gap with 10 to 15 laps left in the stage is a pretty job well done, I would say.
I would agree. Gillen on pit road. That will give second spot back to Beckett Brown.
He spun on entry. There's another issue on pit entry. He had to get it back going.
Let's watch Alan Zukov here. Should be bringing down pit road in the next couple laps. Give the lead back to Beckett Brown. Not this time by
Zachary King's in. Got a car on the apron. Isaac Wilson's slow. And Isaac Wilson's, I think, fully wrecked that thing this time. A lot of right front damage on the points leader.
Now let's see if we can figure out what caused this. Oh, just another loose moment. Oh, right into John Ullman.
Another case of someone spinning and the other guy nowhere to go. Unfortunately, that Slim Chickens Camaro has gotten a lot of big damage. He might end up parking it. Dropping like flies. Here comes Alan Zukov finally pitting as well.
We'll give the lead back to Beckett Brown.
This is what it felt like to commentate the Brickyard in 08.
Probably.
All the tires.
Probably.
Well, this is crazy.
Although far
like
less pacing in this race than there was in that one.
Yeah. Or maybe Bristol last year in the fall race, where just tires were getting chewed up. That's what it feels like. I mean, no one is safe. There is no one who has this track figured out right now, because at any point you could lose it and you didn't even do anything wrong. Yeah, that's just how this car track combo is.
Yeah, top 25 still racing right now all the way back to Bollinger. David Moyer, the first car out of the race. He will retire and finish in the 26th spot.
And that was perfect timing. As I say that, even the race leader's struggling. It kind of hit the outside wall pretty good out of turn 4, actually. But he's still got a 4-second lead to work with. And no surprise, he's just riding the top, trying to deal with it. As Zukov exits the pits, you'll see all those positions go by him. He's going to have to work from outside the top 10.
Yeah, back to 16th, 1 lap down. Only the top 11 are on the lead lap still. Back to Clayton Good. That's how many drivers have had issues with the handling. Cars sliding around, half spins, whatever the case is. All the track position lost throughout that run. Going to put Clayton Good, the last car on the lead lap.
You have the treacherous track conditions. You have a pit cycle that you fully get through. You put that together, you're going to get a pretty spread out race, and that's it's exactly what we're seeing right now, to the point where, like you said, this has been really only a 40-lap run, and nearly only the top 10 are lead lap. You have about the entire 11th to 20th range one lap down, and then you have still drivers running 2 laps down. It's pretty crazy race that's going on right now. You might see a lot of wave rounds at the stage break.
I feel like we will, because we didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, the strategy, to say the least, for the rest of the way. I think someone around. Not
Schneider, another one.
I don't know how we hit the inside wall. That was close.
Another one with no damage. Derek Jewett had a moment. It really is like Bristol from last season, just everyone dropping like flies.
This is not Schneider. Watch this on board.
We need a second stream. We need a chaos stream just to make sure we cover everything. And same exact thing. Just almost 79. I don't know if he got into him or not, but it seems likely he didn't.
Could have a grass mowing service with how many drivers have gone through the green stuff here today.
And through all that cycling out, our top two did stay the same, but Beckett Brown, pitting as early as he did, was able to get that gap over that 0-1 of Zach Davidson. It's paid dividends for sure, and probably is going to be able to hold on to this stage victory. And we're talking about the gaps. I mean, it's 11 seconds back to Aaron Baum in 4th.
Pfiffner having a great run in 5th spot. Haven't really talked about him today. Made his debut at Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, and it lasted about a lap and a half. So a much, much better run at this mile and a half. Jewett's under fire.
He's had his issues as well, but he's been able to hold on to it. And Jewett kind of struggling right now at this point in the run. Multiple tenths off last lap. He's going to bleed spots physically on track. These are not for positions. These cars around him now.
At the 53, many laps down. Landon Kelly also many laps down. 4 of them to be exact. The 95 right behind him. Still heavy damage in the nose of the 95. You saw it right there.
He's gone 4 laps down, running in that 23rd position. Gonna get to the point where in these last few laps of the stage, I believe about 4 laps to go in this stage, that lucky dog battle is gonna be hot. It's Zach White and Harold Tucker who are the battle for that position, but the real battle's for 4th. Aaron Baum's gonna hit the wall right in front of Pfiffner as they're both battling this one out, running those 2 different lines.
And look at the battle for the lucky dog. It's the white car, the yellow car. That's the difference right there. If Zach White could find a little bit, he's only 3.5 tenths back. That would be a big move to get around the 79 right here.
They're both on edge. It's really about who slides last and gets that spot, but they got to hope that Clayton Good doesn't end up getting lapped himself. The 91 should be safe, but you just never know.
We've seen a lot of slides today, and we know that no one is safe.
And another one, looks like, well, Michael Wade had another slide. He's had a few of them. He's going to get it going straight again. Do not take a shot for every moment you say, we say slide.
Yeah. Yeah, you might need a, yeah. We're not even
Bradley Cooper can. Yeah. Bradley can. He would.
Oh, man.
Don't think Bradley's watching, but hopefully he will. Hopefully maybe he does. We'll see if he pops
Probably
in.
live with Goat Locker right now.
Yeah, that's true, actually. He's got work on his hands. He's always working.
Always working.
Or is he hardly working?
No comment.
Tell you what, we're at 2 to go in this stage. That gap has closed up. It's under a second, or close to under a second between Brown and Davidson. I just don't think Davidson's going to be able to get there in time, though.
I think Brown's just being conservative through traffic, just past King. About to try and get around. That's Wade in front of him here. Not pushing too hard. As Wade almost spun in front of him.
Oh, man, that was close. Right in front of that lucky dog battle as well, too.
That'll get your attention.
And that's tough because he's going to going 2 down at the end of this stage. It's going to be hard to fight back from. Zach Wade just rode the wall trying to get the lucky dog. Goodness. Beckett Brown slow. Did he run out of fuel?
I think he's out of gas. That's going to give the stage win to Zach Davidson.
Oh, my gosh. Beckett Brown ran out of fuel. And the pit lanes were closed, so that's going to be a EOL penalty as well.
Waiting on Dustin Lewis to cross the line. He does get it over Alex Pollock. I think actually Beckett Brown's going to get 10th here in the stage. Potentially. We're waiting. No, Clayton Good's going to get it. Oh, man, that's a heartbreaker for the 48.
Oh, that was crazy. I cannot believe he ran himself out of fuel. I thought he pit with plenty of time to make it to the stage end. He pit lap 93. I'm not sure how. I don't know. I'm not sure why you would cut the fuel so close. Maybe for handling purposes, but
yeah,
that was wild.
Very strange. Either way, top 10 at this stage. Davidson, Janik, Baum, Pfiffner, Hayes, Barnes, Jewett, Lewis, Pollock, and Clayton Good, your stage point recipients. Stage winner, Zach Davidson, and what a wild race we've had so far. 7 cautions, 2 for cause, 14 lead changes. Derek Jewett wins stage number 1. Zach Davidson, stage number 2.
That'll work with him in the points. He came in tonight tied for 8th in the points of Caleb Hunt, and we have some drivers behind. Driver he was tied with Caleb Hunt out of this race. He got some drivers ahead of him in the points who have struggled in this race so far, so he's looking to have a good points day, but still a long way to go, and a lot of chaos is happening. We have not had a dull moment today at all.
Absolutely not. It has been a wild race, to say the least. And where else would you rather be on a Friday night than watching guys try and manhandle these race cars around the virtual Chicagoland? Because it has been, White missed the pit road again. His pit stall. Beckett Brown, black flag. That would be for pitting too soon, I believe.
Yeah, they closed the pits for the stage, and obviously he had the pit, so he'll start at the back. Looks like not too many drivers are going to take the wave around. Harold Tucker did win that battle for the lucky dog. Looks like Zukov, Gillen, and Robertson will be the brave souls taking the wave around. Zach Davidson off pit road first by a mile. Shows how big of a lead he had.
Yeah, it was, 11 seconds over Aaron Baum? Something like that.
Yeah, that was a long way.
Let's catch up with our stage winner, should he be available. Do we have a Zach Davidson in the chat somewhere? I don't think so.
Fast Living Motorsports.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, absolutely. See if we can get him up here in the booth. Zach Davidson, Morgan and Connor up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
Well, a stage 2 win. Bit of a surprise, maybe, with Beckett Brown pitting at the very end, but they all count the same. What can you say about your race so far?
You know what? It started out, I was incredibly loose. I did not feel like I had anything even for a top 10, and really the high side has just come in for me. And I've been making it work somehow. I took 2 tires on that last pit stop, and I felt like I was running down Beckett even before he had to come in for pits for a gas. But yeah, it's feeling good.
What should we be looking forward to the rest of the way here?
So normally whenever I'm in this position around a stage break, you can expect me to turn it into the wall or down across the infield. So I'd be looking out for that in the first 2 turns.
Noted. Connor, you got anything?
I got nothing. That was enough.
Yeah, let's
thank you guys for broadcasting.
You bet. Anyone else you want to shout out while we have you up here?
If I could, I'd like to give a shout out to old TDL Designs. He's the person that made this beautiful Lord Hobo car today, and hopefully I'm going to do it proud.
All right, good luck the rest of the way, Zach.
Thank you.
Zach Davidson, stage 2 winner. Fast Living, I believe, is where he was. That's where he will go. Hopefully that's the right spot. Coming
Yes,
to
it
the
was.
choose.
Like 82, dropping to the tail. Did see in the iRacing text chat that River Hayes said he got P5 with 2 minutes of damage. So he did have damage from that crash. Must have been purely suspension because it was not cosmetic, nothing we could see. But definitely, you would think with that hit we saw, that suspension probably got pushed in.
Right.
So maybe his wheel was off, and whoever else was involved that we were talking about, his wheel was straight.
Well,
maybe,
he got hit in the left rear, so it's probably like a left rear toe or left rear camber, which might actually make the car drive better if they had the camber too high or too low. So I don't know. Interesting.
That shows the type of attrition rate we're dealing with, though. I mean, the fact that he could have that many repairs left and he's able to run top 5 in the stage. I mean, it just shows how much survival is. I mean, just look at these cars. The cars in this shot. I mean, this is a much bigger field that we started with than just this shot.
Right.
So many drivers are maybe topping off on fuel, still getting repairs, all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of carnage, a lot of bent sheet metal. I guess it's composite, but a lot of bent composite here this evening.
Ben's the same.
Well, pops out the same. All right, into the restart zone. Davidson and Pfiffner lead the way. Late launch this time, checked up the field. Back racing. Start of stage number 3. Davison made it through turn 1 and 2. That's a good sign.
I say if it comes down to a short run at the end, Aaron Baum's definitely on the short list of guys who can compete for it. It's just he can really launch well. Struggled on the long runs there, but that too really launches on the restarts the first 10 or so laps.
Pollock out of shape just a little bit. Tucker going to get around him. Oh, Beckett Brown, black flag. Middle of the run as well. What would this be for?
I think he got called for when he came out of pit lane at the stage end. I think they've ruled he passed the pace car legally.
Oh, no. Now just
So
don't
we'll see if
speed
this is
here. It's been bad to worse for Beckett Brown. I think he's just going to pull it in.
It looks like he has a late stall, so it could be a stop and hold, or he will park it. But either way, guy who was literally feet from winning the stage is going to have to end up multiple laps down and going to have really only 80 laps or so to recover.
It must be a hold. He's in the pit box as we speak. 3 wide. This is for the top 5. Fiffner, Good, and Jewett. 3, 4, and 5.
That's tight stuff. See if Jewett tries a slider. He drove it in pretty hard, but he's able to make it stick on the bottom. Got by Clayton Good. Good actually had a big wiggle there, but Fiffner had a really good run, but nowhere to go with it. But in the back of the 45, push him forward.
Now, is there a better place than Chicago to throw a slider?
I'm not sure. Dale Jr. said it best. Slide hog. It's a fun track to try it, but it's
and the White Sox. I mean, sliders all over the place.
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot of track to do it, especially. It's very fun to do it here. It can't, those types of 1.5 miles are what produces some of the best racing. You see it all the time at Kansas nowadays. Right. Las Vegas is not really a track, a little bit too high speed in the corner to really pull a true slider, but where you have these wide corners and some off throttle time, like here at Chicagoland, it's really fun trying it, but it's not fun when it doesn't work.
Yeah, when you try and self-clear yourself and turn headfirst into the outside wall, you're not usually a fan of the move, especially if you're the one who's trying to get self-cleared and it doesn't quite work. But regardless, great racing in Chicagoland.
Yeah, the guy you're trying to slide is especially mad when you don't clear him, and
right.
It's kind of where you bring dirt racing into asphalt racing to the point where you're making those slide jobs. That's when you kind of see those disciplines cross over at a track like this, where that is a viable move. But you can also fail at a slide job on the asphalt just as much as you can on the dirt. So you got to be careful, know your surroundings, make sure you have room to slide up as well.
Right about that, riding on the border here is Zachary King. Final driver in our list of driver cams, has not been the same since the speed we saw in the first stage, struggling with damage, 3 laps down in the 21st spot.
And an update on Beckett Brown, he did get back out there after that hold. He's now 4 laps down, 22nd place.
Yeah, bad to worse for the 48.
We've kind of seen is at least the guys who are running up at the front, we've seen the shift of lines being used kind of change. That inside line looked pretty fast, really the first half of this race, but as the grooves kind of moved up, the rubber's getting put down, that outside line has really looked like the better line at both ends of the racetrack, where Zach Davidson's kind of been using it exclusively since the start of stage 2.
And how nice is it that iRacing included the dynamic track on ovals, what was it, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, to allow the ability for the track to change mid-race? I mean, just puts on some excellent racing, as Dustin Lewis had a bit of a moment off of turn 2.
Had a bit of a moment, running 6th, going to lose a few positions to get probably dropped back to about the 9th position. But yeah, definitely kind of a dark time for a while, where that V6 tire kind of broke dynamic track. Really a lot of single file running, but they've made inroads on it. It's gotten a lot better than where it was really 3 to 4 years ago. Definitely an improved, and definitely getting there.
Certainly is. Just saw Pollock put a move on Good Pollock up to 6th for the moment. This race just looks fun to be a part of. I don't know about you, Connor, how much you enjoy slipping and sliding around and having a manhandle it, but yeah, this definitely feels like it'd be a lot of fun.
Definitely. So, I haven't really ran a next gen race in a while since my league's started or stopped. It hasn't started yet, but definitely getting the itch. These types of races are fun as long as you can control it. If you're good at holding the wheel and able to hold onto a car like this, it can be really fun for you getting through the field a few times here and there. So it definitely looks like a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun when you're leading like Davidson is. He's now a second up on Baum, and that gap should only grow with how much speed he had.
He seems to make the top side work here. Baum has as well. Oh, big slide there for Baum.
Oh, man.
Not making
Look
much
out,
work
not done.
at that moment. He's going to lose a ton of time here.
Yeah, we just talked about his long run pace. He just hasn't been able to save that right rear tire, and it bit him there. He lost a ton of time.
Fiffner trying to make an aggressive move, pushing Jewett down the straightaway. He thought about crossing him over, but Pollock's nose was just close enough to deter the move. And ripping the lip is 55, caught the wall.
Yeah, it's getting a little too high there. I'm not sure if Jewett, we saw him kind of get by all these guys to get up in the third with that 3-wide move, but he really hasn't been able to pull any closer to Christian Barnes. Barnes gotten into second, really good run to start this stage, but Jewett just hasn't been able to close in and kind of maybe holding Pollock, Fiffner good up a little bit, or maybe they're just that even on pace because this 45 just not able to pull away.
Yeah, 27. Remember, we saw him almost wreck a couple times early in this race, somehow did not. Now running in the second position and slowly but surely reeling in Zach Davidson as he tries to work around Ullman, who took the line away. That's going to hurt. Oh, and Ullman sliding too. Oh, my goodness.
No.
That's going to put the 27 sideways. Wreck.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That sucks. And no caution because they're down below the racing surface. Pollock's involved heavily. Oh, there's another slide. Here comes Knopfschneider.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look out. Oh,
Wow.
Now the yellow did come out. Goodness. And Christian Barnes is not going to be happy about that.
I certainly would not be either. Go back one more time here. We kind of saw it live, but see if we can get a better look at it high above this racetrack. We just saw him catch Ullman, and Ullman had a bit of a moment, sent 27 up the track, and Barnes did everything possible to make sure he didn't crash. Unfortunately, you can't control the cars behind you in the onrush.
Or in front. I mean, I think he thinks Ullman's going to go high to let him by. Ullman takes his line, but then, that kind of arrow packs a 34, gets him sideways, and that puts Barnes out of control. 92 just didn't check up in time. Yeah. Maybe thought the 27 would slide off track, and pretty big contact made.
Yeah, this definitely killed the right front. Let's ride on the roof cam of the 27 here.
Probably bring people in and release fuel. Takes up his line, then right there is going to get a little loose. And that little contact just shot the 27 up the wall too much to catch.
And
he might catch it if he didn't get hit.
He almost caught it. You could tell it was coming back to him. Another cookout down in the infield grass.
Yeah, that grass is getting mowed today. Looks like Zach Davidson maybe overshot his stall by just a little bit. Maybe see if that changes up the battle for the lead, or at least the restart. Doesn't look like it's going to be. He's going to get the lead back. And it's still a very big gap in behind. Clayton Good's going to come out second out of all that. Fiffner, Tucker, and John Ullman, who pit with the leaders back there. I think Jewett's going to be around 5th place.
Davidson went no tires. Everyone else took tires.
Looked like Davidson took left sides from what I saw, which is... If that's, I saw as, from my point of view, because I could see differently. It looked like just his left sides went up. If that's the case, that's a little interesting.
I mean, this next-gen
We'll
car, as we know,
It's-
sometimes left
funky.
sides wear more than right sides, which is unlike any other stock car I think I've ever seen.
It's funky.
It
That's
sure
one way to
is.
put it.
That's a word for it, absolutely. How about the
See if it
rebound
works
for
out.
Harold Tucker the third, though? Remember, that car was a lap down last in the race. Now, fourth. To come and choose.
Yeah, he came out of that. He came out of the incident sixth, and he's going to be near the front. It looks like, I guess that's Beckett Brown dropping to the tail end, so he won't get the wave around.
Upset drivers in the chat about that caution. Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Texting and driving.
Yeah, it's, I mean, well, probably getting damage repaired and driving. It's
Yeah.
It is frustrating though when something that is just out of your control happens to take you out of a good finish like that. You know, I had a similar incident last night where, you know, a couple drivers got together, nothing I could really do about it. I ended up getting the worst out of the damage and relegated myself from a top 10 back to mid-teens. But these things happen.
Yeah.
That's racing, right?
Yeah, it is part of racing, but also I get the frustration. You know, lap car, you think you know they're running their line, you're trying to run yours, you would think they gave it to you, and that doesn't happen, and things can happen like that. It is definitely racing.
Pace car almost wrecked coming to pit road, too. Davidson, big jump, good on the inside. He's back up at the front, and they are going 3-1. Oh, man, that was just about a big one.
Yeah, that's a little bit late to block. I think that was Dustin Lewis just chopping the nose of Aaron Baum there, and it checked up to 2. It's going to lose him 2 or 3 positions because of that. Baum will remember that. You get chopped like that. Still with about 67 laps to go. You do that with 20 to go, he's probably not lifting.
Yeah, you get one shot at a move like that to test if it works, and you just use that test up. Be very careful making a move like that again on anyone in the field.
And it was kind of a weird restart. Davidson picked the outside, kind of ran the outside all on his own. This is car on the wall out of 2. They keep it straight. Davidson, his left side's not quite working so far. I think that was Isaac Wilson in the wall again, so he's still got damage to deal with. Not a good day for the points leaders. They're 3 wide for the 4th position.
Well, Janik almost dropped down to catch the 45. Thought better of it. I mean, the battling from about 3rd. Oh, Tucker the 3rd around for a moment. Great save, and as they scattered on the back.
He saves it.
Zukov in
Alan
the grass
Zukov
for good
slid
measure.
He just reacted to it and slid himself, but kept the race car on it. Davidson just lost the lead again. Actually, he lost the 2nd position to that 43 car of Evan Janik. So if he really did take left sides, no tires, whatever he did, not working, that car's dropping backwards.
Well, if you took left side tires, I imagine that would snug it up. And if you were fighting tight already, which I think he was, that's why he's running the top side, I don't imagine you're going to make your day much better with that move. It's going to be interesting to see the rest of the way here.
I'm not sure
how long it starts to fade for. Oh, bomb hard in the
River
wall.
Hayes had it. That was a big hit. I'm not sure. Trying to see. Not sure if he has any damage out of it visually. Cosmetically looks fine, but who knows what that suspension looks like. But yeah, I don't know if that was a misclick taking left sides instead of no tires or what, but definitely costing him track position. He looked like the best car on track this year. One did for a long middle portion of this race, but now he's dropping back hard. I mean, he has no rotation in the middle of the corners. He's bleeding spots.
Yeah, I think the big winner today is clean air. If you can get it and hang on to it, it's a good day. Because we saw Beckett Brown look dominant, right? We saw Beckett Brown look dominant out in clean air. Obviously, with the pit issue and the penalty, relegates him back. Davidson was awesome in clean air. Curl was great in clean air. He got in dirty air and crashed almost immediately. So, I mean, it's clean air is king today.
And so is that inside line battling for the lead, at least. It's been the line to pass for the lead. He's trying to get it done past Clayton Good for the lead They're side by side. They're going to be dead even into turn number 1 is good. Trying to wind up that outside. Here comes the slide job. Actually, Janik didn't really even slide up. That was Clayton Good just kind of giving the spot up.
I think that's the wise move at this point in the race. Still over 60 to go in this one. No need to do anything rash and wreck the race car. Isaac Wilson back on pit road. That'll put him multiple laps down.
Just looking out through this field, Beckett Brown, he's actually running at least out of the cars on track. He's 5th in line, maybe trying to get one of those laps back the hard way. He's still 4 down. Oh, crash on the front stretch. Yellow's out. It's Zach White.
Zach White. Oh, yes. Oh, that car took a big hit.
Another one in the tri-oval.
Might have got contact here. Yeah, Zukov.
14th position with Zukov. And 77 just kind of came down the track there.
Yeah, that's another. We saw that same thing happen a little while ago. Just 2 drivers going for the same spot.
Yeah, I don't know if 77 has a manual spotter or not, but that just looked like he didn't. He thought he was clear. The 46 just came down the track. 46 wasn't on the white line, but he was holding his line. So just not looking to be inside. And unfortunately, 77 got a lot of big damage out of it. And like we mentioned, getting big damage at this point in the race is bad because you're not guaranteed those brakes to get repairs. You got this yellow to repair, and then it could go green to the end from here.
That's probably 3 minutes of nose damage if I had to guess, just based on where it is and how severe it is. It's a pretty big lick right dead center on the nose. So from here, 60 laps. Do you pit here and then 1 stop it the rest of the way? I'd say the answer is probably yes for a lot of this field. No, split decision.
Yeah, you would think they should be able to make it on 1 stop from here. Maybe those drivers staying out can stretch it on fuel to make it a 1 stop, and they're just taking the track position. It's going to be a interesting one for sure, but like you mentioned, definitely a split decision.
Speaking of interesting one, like the interesting designs from Juicy Spider Studios, we're going to take a Juicy Spider side by side. Be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Slim Chickens Cup Series, powered by Tier1SetupShop.com on VSPEED. I'm Morgan Cook alongside Connor Horn. Cameras by Dougie Beard. Getting down to the closing stages this one. Chi-Town 500 kilometers at Chicagoland Speedway.
Been a fun one. A lot of comers and goers. A lot of drivers who have been at literally every spectrum of the field, back and forth.
Now, we've seen some of the fastest drivers in the field get sideways and crash the car. We've seen some drivers who we wouldn't typically see up at the front run well today and just be able to keep it out of trouble, and everything in between. Little race recap for you. Working caution number 9, 7 for cause, 2 for stages, 17 lead changes as well. 26th back to 35th out of the race. John Ullman, last driver running, 21 laps off pace. Bollinger's down 10, Kelly's down 5, Beckett Brown's down 4, Wilson down 3, couple down 2, and a bunch down 1 lap as we get back racing, and there goes Clayton Good. What a jump for the inside.
Almost like they timed it. Oh, Jewett looked to be inside trying to get the lead. Couldn't quite get it away as he's going to get packed air on the spoiler there through turns 1 and 2, but it looks like he's going to get away with it keeping the lead. That was tight.
I feel like Jewett maybe pushed him into the zone and made him go.
Yeah, it could have been definitely a case of Jewett starting the race as it looked like he dove to the inside, got aero tight, pushed up. Very easy to do that. It's kind of a win-lose, kind of a 50-50 situation. You can push into a corner hard, get that guy in front of you aero loose, but you're gonna get aero tight and push up the track. So just gotta hope he gets more loose than you do get tight.
And you have to have enough faith in the guy to not crash the car, because if he wrecks, you go to the back with him for causing the caution.
Or you're just out of the race. Very easy for that to happen as well. But
that too.
this is kind of with this restart. Roughly around 60 laps to go, just under 60 laps to go. This is really the run to the finish. You got one more green flag pit stop, but you're racing for track position big time right now. At this point, if you've been trying to survive this entire race, you got to go now.
And now is the time, like you mentioned, last 25% of this race. Those are 3/4 through this one. It is time to go.
Oh, Jewett a little bit of a wiggle. There goes Janik. Got the second spot. That's Christian Barnes again, back up into the top 5. He is relentless today.
How about River Hayes, too? Remember, had the 2 minutes of damage. He's up in the top 5.
He's able to climb back up. He ran top 3 early on before that damage, and we really haven't seen him compete for the lead since then, but looking very strong right now.
Well, we have a moment. Let's have a look at the point standings. We got blocking on the apron. Not what we were expecting. So Wilson, Bollinger, and Baum, your top 3. Bollinger had issues. Isaac Wilson's had a ton of issues. Baum, the only driver out of that group who's doing all right. Curl out of the race. Hayes going to jump some spots here as well. So points will go for a shake once this one is over.
Yeah, just had a moment. Zach Davidson, he has not been the same since losing that lead. He had a slide at it
too.
He
Wade into his door.
Positions. Oh man, Michael Wade's had a lot of issues today too, and that could be the final hit.
Yeah, I think it is. That car, I think the right front broke. Hit that wall a ton. Tucker with nose damage. Quiet rebound for Cochran. Haven't really said his name much today, up to 11th, the 88.
Trying to work that outside line. Haven't really talked about the 88 really a lot today at all, but he has climbed up 12th position. It's weird. He started 8th, but we really have not seen this 88 car really get in the top 10 at all.
Yeah, the only time we talked about him was when he spun to bring out our second caution.
Oh, another car in the wall back there. That was Knopp Schneider. We'll see if he has damage out of it, but he kept it straight. But we've seen about the top 9 drivers, plus Landon Kelly, who's gotten that car fully repaired, kind of break away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, Zukov, who is making his return to iRacing, been away for quite a while. Brings it back to the Mystic Racing League. 10th, and what a comeback. Beckett Brown.
Oh man, that camera's getting the workout today.
Yes, it is. Whiplash on all the camera operators this evening. Insurance premiums going up.
He's 4 laps down, not battling anyone, so just trying to hope he gets maybe luck to get a lucky dog somewhere. Look at that battle. It's almost into a wall type of battle. Fiffner battling Dustin Lewis for 6th. Landon Kelly kind of in the middle of it. He's gotten that car finally fully repaired, albeit he is 5 laps down.
Now this race is gone. That might be all right. You might still end up with the top 10, 5 laps down if it keeps going this way.
If he has the pace advantage, maybe he can go up and pull a Bill Elliott, get at least one of those laps back on pace. Still got a lot of work to do to achieve that.
If you can get 5 laps back on your own
in 50 laps,
yeah, you're otherworldly. Isaac Wilson back down pit road.
He's out of the car. He might be done.
So Evan Janik leads the way. And because of the manufacturer that Evan Janik joined into, C4 Racing will incur a penalty post-race. Should be a Chevy. All the other C4 cars are. This is obviously a Ford, which means fairly hefty points penalty given to the C4 Racing team. Saw it last week with Damn Motorsports, but yeah, it's a tough break.
No manufacturer support next week as a penalty.
Yeah, unfortunate. I don't know how much you're going to drive in.
Pull a Pontiac out. Maybe a Ram.
The Pontiac, yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Ram would be curious.
Ram would make more sense.
On a sedan, would it though?
I know. I don't know.
Either way,
the manufacturers.
The penalty is this is brand new from last week. Instead of getting the first place points for your team driver, so typically team points, the way that they work is the highest finishing driver, highest pointing driver in the race for that team, they give all of their points to the team. Instead, if a driver on that team joins in the wrong manufacturer or wrong number or something of that nature to not have team cohesion, you flip down to the lowest pointing driver for that team contributes points to the team that week. So in this case, Colin Bollinger, back in 24th spot with no stage points, would be the one who would contribute points to C4 this week, and not potentially the 43 of Evan Janik. So big penalty.
Big penalty. Maybe some of it's forgiven if Janik can just win this race, at least for himself. He might forgive himself, but yeah, definitely an easy mistake to make, unfortunately, if you're not paying attention. Just click the wrong manufacturer. I'm sure he'll learn and not do it next week.
Well, that's the hope anyway. There will be a points penalty for the driver as well for incorrect banner. So he doesn't have the Slim Chickens banner every other car does. He just has the stock Ford banner. So that will also be a points penalty incurred by the driver. So definitely not a great points day for the 43, even though we're not over yet.
Just trying to limit the damage by winning the race. That's really all you can do at that point. And doing
help.
A good job right now. Really playing good. Closed in maybe a 10th last lap, but it's still about 4/10 a second lead. And he's got a pretty good gap. And we're starting to see drivers kind of gravitate towards the bottom of the racetrack. You saw early in this run a lot of the drivers in the front 7 or so running that high side, but starting to see some of these drivers in 3 and 4, they're running the bottom on that end of the track, and then you got some of them running the bottom in 1 and 2, but majority are still near the top in 1 and 2.
And lines are changing. I think when everyone drives the same line, it gets that line really warm. You kind of got to search for a cooler part of the racetrack to be able to find grip, and that's what we're doing. We saw the bottom was dominant early. Then it moved all the way up to the top side. Now it's kind of back down to the bottom, maybe flirting with the middle. You're absolutely right. It's dynamic out here, and it's been fun to watch.
We'll see if anyone can kind of move lines around trying to make passes, because it seems we're getting some pretty even splits between the top 6 or so. That 3/4 of a second range where that dirty air gets really hard to break through. We're starting to see that really within these top 3. They're kind of evenly spread out to where that dirty air is kind of keeping them apart. They're all committing to pretty much the same lanes. It's going to get tougher and tougher to pass, which means that undercut, overcut, whatever you do on this final pit stop is going to dictate where you finish almost certainly.
I was just going to ask, what do you do? We're 40 laps away from the end of the race. Pit window's going to open here in probably 5 laps. What do you think? Do you pit early or do you run it out to the end?
I think drivers pit around lap 148. We probably maybe if you want to split it evenly, you're about 10 laps away from that. So if you're trying to get track position, try to maybe get the lead, you might want to pit 5-10 laps earlier just to get that clean air advantage, get that track position. In this car, this is a car that kind of promotes defense. I mean, it's much easier, I think, stressful, but I think it's much easier to play defense in this car for the win than play offense for the win in this car. So I want track position. You're going to have to short pit, so I would not be surprised to see some of these drivers battling for the win try to pit in the next 5 laps and get the jump.
Yeah, aero blocking obviously very prevalent in this car considering how aero dependent it is, especially in the rear end. It's good God up there. He's going to slide him in front of Wade. Oh, there goes Janik for a slide.
Oh, race leader through the grass. That gives the lead to River Hayes. River Hayes is going to pass to 91. Clayton Good, he lifted because he thought it was going to be a wreck he was in, and River Hayes goes third to first.
Well, there's a little 2-for-1. That's not what you expect at all, and Hayes is bobbling off the bottom of the racetrack, 81 to the point.
That completely changes Evan Janik's strategy. Unfortunately, it doesn't change the 91s at all because he couldn't keep the lead.
Did lose time, however, still stuck behind Wade, just cannot clear the 5.
Yeah, 5 just came in, fully repaired his damage, has fresh tires, now 13 laps down, so it's probably not going to be a pass he can make. Just hoping for Michael Wade to get up there to pass the leader and, you know, have at least clean air or dirty air on the nose of the 81 as well.
Yeah, that is the frustration when you're dealing with lap cars, is when they get stuck in the middle of the driver you're trying to catch and you, because it's hurting you, but it's not having any impact on that driver. Hayes can try and clear up. He won't be able to. This is going to bring Good right back into the picture.
Yeah, that time by, they were pretty even times between the top 2 drivers. Christian Barnes has kind of dropped off this battle. Dustin Lewis doesn't seem to really have the pace right now. It looks like Michael Wade still trying to make that pass. Now this is what's going to be slowing up River Hayes when he's having to give that line up to the 5 to where he can't arc the corner the way he wants to. So you're going to lose a little bit of time there. And then you do the same thing on exit where he can't come up all the way. It's going to lose you at least a 10th or 2. And that's when the 91's going to make this ground back up. And they're still going to be side by side.
Yeah, if Good can just not be right in the tire tracks of the 5. Oh, he got arrow tight there. That's going to hurt a lot. But countered by the 81 not getting off the corner either.
I can imagine this is frustrating for River Hayes. If I'm in his scenario, I'm about to yell at the 5, say either pass me or don't. Do one or the other. Don't hang on my door. It's the most frustrating thing, but you know, they are slower. They can't pass. Oh, car pitting. Oh, Christian Barnes has spun on the pit lane. He came to pit and he spun it.
That is going to hurt him in the time column.
And that was a really early commit to pit, but not too far off, but that was definitely going to be a short pit strategy, but that's going to throw that out the window. Couldn't even see 2 tires on this final stop with how much track position matters. That's something to look at.
Well, he's going to have to do something different. If he takes 4, he's just going to hemorrhage all that time. Unless you just drive the wheels off it for 40 laps and hope that it sticks. That's all you can really do, I think, now if you're the 27.
It's a 60% fuel tank. You know, it's going to be a shorter stop. I mean, you almost certainly would think maybe some drivers would consider 2 tires. We'll just have to wait and see.
Wade finally cleared Hayes.
And Clayton Good about a 1/10.5 faster than River Hayes that last time by. But, you know, the further that 5 can pull away, the better and easier it is for the 81. And still, it almost looks like Michael Wade's making sure River Hayes doesn't get draft down the straightaway. I was about to say maybe that draft is helping River Hayes, but not quite the case, as Hayes actually pulled another 1/10.5 back out. So that gap between the top 2 kind of rubber banding right now.
Yeah, not a good corner for Good. And that was up to 0.6 of a second. Biggest it's been in a while. But don't look now. Here comes, you talked about the 95 trying to get the laps back.
Oh, sorry, Clayton Good. Clayton Good came to pit and he half spun.
That's the second time we saw that. Remember, he almost crashed early trying to hit pit road under green.
No part of this racetrack is safe, I tell you.
Not at all, especially pit entry. But as I was saying, Landon Kelly, he is creeping into the picture here for the leaders. I mean, that's Wade and Hayes right there. If he can pass Hayes, that's a lap back the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, he's trying to get 1 back. He's gotten into the top 20 because Becca Brown and a few others have parked their cars. But if he can get the 4 down, maybe he can go up and maybe get some wave rounds and maybe try to get Zachary King for position. But he's done a good job just recovering best he can, as we saw Fiffner come down to pit from about the 9th position.
That should relegate him back to the mid-teens. Last car on the lead lap as we run is Alex Pollock. Down in 13th. Davidson on pit road.
Derek Jewett sliding a little bit. Davidson came down the pit.
His damn teammates staying together.
John Woolman laps down. He pits. See how long. You know, clean tires, you know, fresher tires matter, but that clean air, I think, would matter more at the end of this race as track cools down, as the sun kind of sets a little bit. I don't know how much longer River Hayes is going to want to wait this one out. Can't wait too long, though.
It looks like the give up on the stopwatch is about a second at this point in time.
Evan Janik, he's actually left the session himself. So I suppose when he came down, he must have had a crash somewhere we didn't see. So Evan Janik's actually out of this race. That's another driver added to the attrition rate.
And look at that. That's
Oh,
it's a battle. Oh,
closer than you want.
Yeah, Pollock with the heavy damage from the accident. 3 wide, bouncing off each other. That's not what you want to see.
Corey Powell, lap traffic all over the place. Looks like Landon Kelly's in the wall. He got contact from the 29 back there. Oh my goodness, this is not what River Hayes wants to see.
Here comes the 8. That's second spot right now, Dustin Lewis. Oh, the 29 missed pit road. Couldn't get it slowed down in time.
Road, or I don't know if he missed pit road or just that far out of control, but that was close. And Dustin Lewis lost a decent amount of time through all that. And these three, really these top 3 that haven't pit have pulled away. I mean, Cochran's in 4th, 9 seconds back of River Hayes. The gap has exponentially increased between these drivers as this race has gone on.
And I wonder if the 5 and 81 will be exchanging Christmas cards, because I think Hayes is about had enough. He's going to bring it down pit road here. Solid pit entry.
Oh, it's fast.
It is fast. I don't see a black flag. Looks like he's going to be okay. He got all of it, though.
He definitely got as much as he could, which is going to be important. It gives the lead over to the 8. And I don't think River Hayes has time to repair anything, but it does look like that time he got a little bit of cosmetic damage on that right front with the contact from the 29.
Comes Dustin Lewis down to pit.
Charles Robertson's going to take the lead.
Final pit stops of the day, at least the scheduled ones. Cochran up to second. Tucker's on pit road. He's just exiting.
Alan Zukov, he just exited the pits. Where the 81 comes out of pit lane, especially in comparison to the 8, that'll really be the battle, those two.
Cochran onto the pit lane. Oh, Dustin Lewis. Oh, just on pit road here. Not even close. Hayes way out in front. Between the aggressive pit entry and the few laps he pit earlier, it's not even close to a competition.
No, it wasn't. And River Hayes, I mean, he even took 4 tires. Not like the strategy was different, just that much better. I mean, I can't believe it. It was about a 1.5 second difference.
Oh, Dustin Lewis was 24 seconds in the box, too. I don't know if he had damage to fix or what, but that's 10 seconds slower just on pit road, just stopped. So that hurts for sure.
Wonder if he wasn't in his box fully to the point where they wouldn't pit him or something. I'm not sure.
He did
catch didn't have stuff checked.
He did catch the wall, too.
Here comes Robertson in. Alex Pollock's going to follow.
Gillen will inherit the lead here in just a moment.
It's going to make this final run for River Hayes probably more easier than it was going to be, because a lot of drivers that were around him have kind of dropped out of contention at this point, where it looks like Christian Barnes is going to cycle to second as this battle side-by-side's ongoing. This is Joshua Gillen yet the pit. Aaron Baum getting his lap back.
I would expect Gillen to bring it down to us this time. He's on the bottom, definitely slow in the center. 12 will bring it to pit road, give River Hayes the spot back once he clears the 10.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time all day the race leader's been like, all right, go green. Every other time it's like, I would like a caution. I don't like how this car is handling. And now River Hayes changing his tune. It's like, all right, let's go to the end, guys. I mean, come on, it's 20 laps. We could do it. Best thing he could do is lap whoever he can as well.
That will help. Currently top 12 on the lead lap. Next driver in front of him is Davidson. That is 12th position, that black and gold 01. And Zukov 10 seconds up the road, probably not going to be much of a factor for Hayes.
Yeah, he probably won't catch that 46. Oh, Zach Davison hit the wall hard off of turn number 4. He had just got lapped, too.
Oh, that car's destroyed. Oh, yeah,
That was
it's
right
killed.
in front of River Hayes.
It's killed. Right front tire not turning anymore. Can he make the corner here?
That was 8th in points right there. Ooh, look out. Yeah, broken right front's not going to turn. Wow, that could have been big if he didn't overcorrect. That was right in front of the race leader.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Corrected that in the worst spot.
that was very subtle, too, compared to what others we've seen, where the car just, it steps out of nowhere. That one was just so subtle. It barely even stepped out, but it was enough to where he had the counter steer react to it, and there's just nothing he could do.
I've always said that this this car is the hardest car to save when it gets pointed back to the right. There is nothing you can do when it's on that right front tire to bring it back. It is just going to hit nose into the outside wall every time unless you get on the brakes, and even that doesn't always work. It's just something about the geometry and the weight distribution of this car makes it near impossible with the rack and pinion steering also to be able to bring it back from a slide.
I think the rack and pinion steering is, I think, the biggest piece of that, because it's just not as reactive in a way for, just because of how it is. It's just so difficult to do. And something with the aerodynamics of the car as well, to put, when it gets sideways, it's not like you can hang it out. Like in old generations of cars, you could kind of hang the right rear out of the corner. You'd almost drive like the Gen 4 cars kind of off the right rear. The next gen's completely different. You really want to drive the next gen for speed off the right front instead of the right rear, and that makes it to the point where if you do slide the rear end out just a little bit, that thing's going to kick sideways like you've seen all day long, and you're either going to, like we talked about earlier, you're going to overcorrect it or you're going to spin it out. You're not going to save it almost any time.
Well, you can see why right here. You look right behind the rear tire. It's gone now, but there's just so little quarter panel on this car for side force, and it's not flat. It's not like the billboard we used to see on maybe even the National Series car, the O'Reilly car. There's just nothing to hold that car when it's sideways in the corner other than the rear diffuser. So you hit the bumps and it starts chattering and air starts leaking out from underneath the diffuser and ends up going underneath the tires, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a bit of a sliding situation. As Beckett Brown also meatballed the car recently. I think he blew it up sitting on pit road.
Yeah, he parked it a while ago. Had a really fast car himself. He
did.
was literally a turn away from winning stage 2, and it just completely unraveled after he had the pit, got the penalty, went 4 down, and he eventually called it.
Right. Yeah, just one of those days when it looks good and then just all kind of falls apart.
Yeah, we're only left with about 22 cars running still. You got the top 21, and then Evan Janik, who's recently left the race. John Ullman is going to pick up another spot. 21 laps down, he's going to at least get the 22nd.
Well, that's why you keep running, right? I mean, he's been double-digit laps down since very early in this race and just continues to plug away. I mean, 23rd finish for a car that has not been on the right side of the handling spectrum, that's a pretty good day, all things considered.
I think he would take it for sure. And you got to do what you can do when it's a points format like we got now, where the points do matter over just winning in and don't care about the rest. So, that's kind of the attrition. If you're a part of that attrition, you got to fight through it if you still have a car to fight with, and just, get what you can. Those points will matter.
Speaking of fight, battle for second. Fiftner, Barnes, Robertson. Going for second spot as Hayes is 4 seconds up the road.
And Robertson has the freshest tires of these drivers, but, that dirty air bubble, once you get to it, it's hard to break through it. He just hasn't been able to make much progress as they're getting by lap traffic. That's the 79, who's gone, I believe, 1 lap down, Harold Tucker.
The first car 1 lap down.
Kind of been since stage 2. We've had 11 cars able to stay lead lap.
All the way back to Alan Zukov.
Little battle for 6th place back there. Aaron Baum's trying to pass Clayton Good for that position.
Got him.
Oh, he slid up right in front of him on corner exit.
And then took the line away in the corner. That's not going to help Good.
Yeah, I think Good tried to kind of fake him into running the bottom so he could get cleaner up the top, and Aaron Baum just did not care.
Right. Black flag, Michael Wade. A pit road violation, I believe.
Wrecked that thing good. He's got a lot more damage than he did. I think that was him just pulling it down the pit lane after hitting the wall at a turn 4. How much damage that thing has is battle for seconds. Now only a 2-man race. Fiftner's falling off. Robertson's going to the bottom.
Look at the damage on the front end of 17. Still making time here for second. Oh, little contact off the corner.
Oh. How about the damage on the right side? There might be some there now. You can definitely tell. I mean, it's not going to be driving good with the splitter all pushed up like that for sure, but he's able to make it work. He still has a lot of speed in that Mustang.
It's good enough, clearly.
Just a little bit too much grip with these two
Oh,
drivers.
he made him clear. Holy cow.
Oh, wow,
I
he
don't
did
know
clear him.
how he did that without wrecking.
Oh, man, here comes the crossover. I didn't think he was going to clear him either. 27 Barnes drove it in hard trying to get him back and couldn't do it. That was a good pass. Wow.
Yeah, that was good fighting right there. That was a good, respectful fight. Robertson should be able to take that one to the bank.
Yeah, and he's got the fresher tires. He should be able to pull away. Maybe he can close in on River Hayes a little bit, but there's 4 seconds up the road, coming to 7 to go. He's going to need something to happen to get into that battle for the lead. As Clayton Good just bled another spot. Jacob Cochran's up to 7th position. He's another driver who waited long to pit, and tires are getting him back to the front.
Absolutely. Looks like drivers, if we stay green, fairly locked in the positions that they have. Really only ones up for battle. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Everyone else seems to be pretty much locked into where they are. Zach White has a shot at Harold Tucker the third, although I don't know if he's going to get there in time.
Zach White, Harold Tucker, they're running kind of similar laps. Alex Pollock running in 14th. Pollock ran actually really well all day, just not going to get the finish that they probably deserved.
I mean, that
This is
damage on the
battle
nose is
for
just,
position.
that was a killer, right?
Yeah, lap traffic. I'm sure they're not happy with lap traffic either. It's just kind of part of racing. Battle for third's not done yet. Barnes and Fiffner kind of getting close to one another. Barnes has kind of fallen off since losing that runner-up spot, and Fiffner's kind of charging.
Five laps to go for River Hayes.
And you could tell, just looking at the rubber put down on the racetrack, you could see visually every inch of this racetrack's been used up. It's very light on the straightaway as you get to the corner. It darkens up really quickly, all the way from the white line to the outside white retaining wall. This track's been used up, and everyone's just trying to search for grip because the whole track's rubbered up. You're kind of low on grip at this point, and everything's really tightened up at this point.
You can see it right there. It goes from that light gray, like you said, to super dark. You can see all the bumps vividly. Kind of unbelievable how much this racetrack changed from the start of the race when everything was this white color.
Yeah, that's kind of why you get comers and goers. Some drivers, when the track's not really worn out, that's when they're at their best, but you know, they kind of fade off once the track gets worn off, and then the guys who are used to the track kind of being worn out like that, having to search for grip, those are guys who exceed near the race end.
Yeah, that's another parallel to dirt that we said about this racetrack already, is the worn out surface really promotes drivers who are good on dirt.
I don't know if there's a chili bowl in River Hayes' future, but he's giving it a good ride today. He's coming to 2 to go, and he is hoping to see that white flag very quickly.
I think River Hayes is one of those guys you could put him, just like kind of like Tony Stewart. You could put him in a soapbox and he'd still find a way to win it.
He's certainly finding a way today, and we started off this season with, I believe, four different winners, and River Hayes looking to be the first one to go and get their second victory.
Yeah, it has been a parity-filled season to this point. The cream is starting to rise to the top as we collect the white flag here in Chicagoland. One more lap to go for River Hayes. Nothing out the back. 1.5 miles away from his second win of the season.
It's a really good cycle. He's able to repair all that damage and just able to get to the front when it mattered most. We saw a lot of different drivers lead this race, but he got that track position right when it mattered.
And off of turn number 4 for the final time today, the attrition-filled race at Chicagoland is over, and River Hayes is going to emerge victorious.
Robertson just held on for second in front of Christian Barnes. Good finish there. Great race. 35 laps led for River Hayes. No doubt in that final, really the final green flag run of the race, he was the driver to beat, and he could not be beat today.
Yeah, that pit cycle did it for him. Went in about 2 seconds for the lead, came out like 15 seconds ahead. Things ended up working out just right for River Hayes. Fastest lap of the day to boot.
Yeah.
30.021.
I think what stood out for him is he was fast when the track wasn't worn out, and he just got better and better as the track developed, and that played into his favor.
And had the massive damage mid-race. I mean, really, persevered a lot tonight. Able to get the dub.
Oh, it's passing tech now.
Sure is. I was thinking the same thing. Congratulations to River Hayes. We'll catch up with him and the rest of your top 3, Charles Robertson and Christian Barnes, in just a moment. Let's get down to the results here. River Hayes with the win. Robertson and Barnes, your top 3, second and third. Biffner comes home in 4th. Derek Jewett, great run in 5th. Teammate right behind him in the 6th spot. Jacob Cochran, banner day for the 88, finishes 7th. Dustin Lewis in 8th. Good finishes 9th, and Gillen rounds out your top 10.
Alan Zukov, he started in 31st. I think he'll take 11th out of the day. One of the few clean cars in the field. Harold Tucker, he had his battles. First car lap down, he ends up 12th. Zach White, he had issues as well, but I think he'll take 13th. He started dead last today, and he got up 22 positions. I think he'll take that. Alex Pollock, top 10 run. Still salvaged a 14th, but could have been better. Jared Knopfschneider, excuse me. He had a decent run, top 15. Zachary King, a lot of damage from the start. Couldn't repair it all in time. 16th for him. Corey Powell, 17th. Landon Kelly, he persevered to get 18th with all the damage in the world. Colin Bollinger, who was in a pretty good point spot. He'll drop a little bit. He salvaged 19th. And Zach Davidson, who won, I believe, stage 2 and had a good run, kind of go sour at the end. He ends up 20th.
21st, John Ullman obviously caused the issue with Pollock and Barnes, but regardless, 21st for the 34. Michael Wade had a tough day, 22nd. Evan Janik quit early, 23rd for that car. Beckett Brown looked like to be the car to beat. Middle of this race, finishes 24th with the way that one finished. Isaac Wilson in 25th. Boyer, 26th spot. Caleb Hunt in the 27th position. Kime, Curl, and Benke, your top 30.
Gavin Hinson, these are some drivers you just could not really get by the first few yellows. Gavin Hinson wrecked early, 31st. Thomas Hartzog, Isaac Brock, same thing. Those are 2 drivers right there who started top 10 and couldn't get to the finish. And Brad Nelson and Lauren Vincent, 34th and 35th.
That is a look at your results here today. Let's catch up with your top 3. I believe Charles Robertson is around. I don't think Christian Barnes is. Let's go grab Christian Barnes and chat with our 3rd place finisher. Get him up here. Hold on just a moment. Christian Barnes, Morgan and Connor up in the booth. You got a copy? All right. Having trouble hearing you. Just it's a little bit quiet. But Christian, a eventful day. Ends up finishing in the 3rd spot. Walk us through your day today.
Yeah, I didn't get any practice, so I just had to listen to my teammates to know possibly how the car was handling and stuff like that. So I qualified kind of mid. back, I think. I don't remember exactly where I qualified, but
14th.
at that point, 14. Okay. So stage one was really just kind of learning the car and just seeing, where the handling is, seeing what lines to run, and just seeing how bad the dirty air was and stuff like that. Um, I got some damage. I don't remember completely what happened in stage one, but I know I got some damage. Or oh, that's right, from the that bump in the second lane in turn one and two. I mean, I didn't even feel the bump. It just snapped sideways, just out of nowhere. The fact that I don't know how I kept it straight, but I got a little bit of damage in the front. So when that later caution kind of came out, I was able to get some fuel. A lot of guys stayed out, so I knew they weren't going to make the end of the stage. They were banking on a caution. When the caution came out, I decided to stay out because if I came in to fix the damage, I still wasn't going to take tires because I wanted to save them for later on. So I was able to stay out, and I was able to hold on to a 10th place finish. So I was able to get a stage point. Stage two is kind of the same, just learning the lines, not just finding where the bumps are to not hit them again. I was able to do that, and I was able to climb a few more spots. I think I got sixth or seventh, one of those. Um, and then stage three, I kind of had a handle on the car. I was able to start moving forward, and I was catching the leader in the 01. I was holding the bottom pretty good, and then I caught the 34, and he wanted to hold the bottom for I'm not sure why, but he held the bottom, and I was just gonna move up towards the exit of the corner, but I don't know if he got loose or tried to get on the apron to get out of the way, but he hit the apron, and I kind of just had nowhere to go. And unfortunately, the guys behind me also had nowhere to go when I came coming back down the track. So luckily that wasn't terminal, so I was able to fix it pretty quickly under that caution and keep going. And at that point, I was just trying to drive back forward. That final caution, I did not take tires because I wanted to save a set just in case. Unfortunately, I did not get another caution like I wanted, so I was not able to, kind of keep up with the 81. And he was able to kind of drive away. I tried a pit strategy to pit early to try to, overcome that, but unfortunately, I spun out entering pit road, so that kind of threw the win away a little bit. But I was able to somehow hold on to third at least, so that's a plus for how this night went.
Yeah, definitely an attrition-filled night for a lot of the field. You included. You mentioned the spin. You mentioned the spin onto pit road. But we're headed to Martinsville next week, which would probably be even more attrition-filled. You looking forward to the paperclip next week?
Yes and no. Those races can be a toss-up for either a wreckfest or a long run race. So I'm hoping it can be a long run race because I feel pretty good there, but you just never know with Martinsville.
Absolutely. And while we got you up here, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a podium here in Chicagoland?
Yeah, shout out Gavin Henson and Waterforce Racing with all those guys and my teammates. Feel bad for Gavin. He hit the same bump I did. Unfortunately, he was not able to save it, and his night ended. I want to thank y'all also for broadcasting. I'll be watching it later. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Chris. Congratulations on P3.
Thank y'all.
All right. That's third place finisher Christian Barnes. Connor Horn has caught up with second place finisher Charles Robertson.
Charles Robinson, you got a copy? Charles Robertson, he's finished second place. You got a copy?
May have to come back
Get
to
him up here. He
Charles
led 4
Robertson.
laps today. Got a copy, Charles?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got him.
Ah, there we go. Now we got you.
Yeah, I got a crap.
So finally got you. You're all good. Pretty crazy race for really everyone involved. You were no stranger to it. You had some damage. You're able to fight up to second place. How are you able to get up to second? How is all really strategy, and how much speed were you kind of leaving in the bank trying to get the river, maybe, if you could get there?
I don't know. I mean, the setup was kind of loose. I feel like fifth gear, I probably almost spun out like 3 or 4 times. I'd make it up to seventh or eighth, and then almost spin out, fall back to 15th. That happened probably about 4 times. So I don't know, man. I kind of just got off strategy there at the end and took right sides. I was catching him a little bit, but then he would, gain it back. So it was just kind of, he wasn't pulling away too much, but I really didn't have the tires to get him there at the end.
We're talking about maybe some drivers would take 4 tires or to take 2 tires. We're not aware you took two, so that was good information that I wish we
Yeah,
had.
I
Definitely
no
worked out
choice.
for you.
Kind of had no choice. So
It worked out for you, held on to second place, and obviously you had the just like everyone had to go through the track, kind of changing very sideways for a lot of drivers throughout the entire
yeah.
thing. Maybe tightened up a little bit near the end. How much did the track change for you, and how much did you adjust to that?
I mean, it. I wouldn't say it felt loose. I feel like I said, fifth gear was really loose, but I think those last two runs there, I was running fourth, and it seemed like it was more stable. So, um, I really couldn't tell if the track changed too much. It just seemed like it was between if you're running fourth or fifth, and I feel like fourth gear was where you wanted to be.
Definitely worked for you. You got your second top five of the season. You came into tonight fifth in points, tied with River, obviously, through stage points.
Yeah.
You both had really good points days, and obviously very early on in the season. But how important do you think races this early in the season and persevering through damage like this? How much does that matter going into a long season long race like this?
I feel like it does. I mean, I've had I think two or three bad races, maybe two. So I feel like it's definitely important. Try to knock
Definitely
these
important.
top five, top tens off.
Definitely important for you, and you definitely did everything you could today besides get to V81. But great run for you, Charles. Congrats on that and a P2 finish for you.
Thank you, man.
Anyone else you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, my teammates, Isaac, Josh, Alex. Um, they didn't have too good of a run, but I'm glad I could, get a top five for them.
You definitely carried the banner well today, bud. Congrats on this one, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, man.
Second place finisher, Charles Robertson. Let's go catch up with your winner. That, of course, none other than River Hayes. River Hayes, Morgan, and Connor up in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. You got me.
We got you. Welcome to Sofa News Victory Lane. And for you, it was a roller coaster kind of day. Obviously had the crash in stage 2 with the 51. 2 minutes of damage, still got stage points. Victory Lane with the fastest lap not all that long later. What more can you say than they great job here tonight, River?
Yeah, it was a stressful one, man. I seen the 51 spin and I was like, I don't know where he's gonna go. This car is just so unpredictable. And of course he had to come up and pin me against the wall. And yeah, I ended up with 3 minutes of damage and wheel damage. And I was just hoping if I could limp it around long enough, I would be able to fix it. And I finished the repairs at like the second caution in the last stage, and I have no idea how I drove it up to fifth with 2 minutes of damage still. That blew my mind. But we had a lot of cars lapped down by that point, so that's the only thing that saved me there. But once I got it fixed, it drove like it was brand new. I had saved a set from the first stage, and then I pitted the second to last caution with fresh tires all the way around. And I thought Evan had a good shot because he was on the same strategy as me, but he got loose and almost spun it. So. And then I got up there. We had a lap car. They kind of threw a monkey wrench and everything, and I just split the middle and got the lead and just never looked back.
Well, it all worked out absolutely for you today. Led 35 laps, and you were better on the outside looking in points. I think you were fifth or something like that. The gap starting to grow. This is going to pull you right back into the points battle, considering pretty much everyone in front of you had problems with the exception of Aaron Baum. We're going next week to Martinsville. I think you're a short track guy. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I'd say Martinsville is probably one of my worst short tracks. I don't know what it is about there. It's just I always seem to never do very good, but hopefully I'll be up front.
Absolutely. And while we have you up here, after your race win here tonight, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a great, great run in Chicagoland?
Yeah, I want to thank Ryan Pelfrey, Cody Smith with Smith's Race Development, and Carl. He had a short end to the day, but thank you to them guys for letting me do this, and thank you guys for putting on a great show.
Thank you for your time. Congratulations. That's River Hayes in Sofa News Victory Lane winner here in Chicagoland. And that will about do it for our show here today. Mystic Racing League, Slim Chickens Cup Series. Connor Horn, final thoughts after a chaotic day in Chicagoland.
Well, if you thought this was chaotic, Martinsville next week will probably put this one in the rear view rather quickly. Very crazy race for sure. A lot of drivers struggled with how on edge the setup was, but definitely looked fast. River Hayes made it look fast for sure in the Slim Chickens Cup Series, and it looked like he had fun with it at the end. Chi-Town 500 goes to him, and honestly, you know, the racing we did see, we got some green flag running in the second half, especially just the attrition and the comers and goers. I mean, you saw so many drivers run up at the front, but also struggle when they went to the back, as a lot of drivers just didn't get to the front at the right time. So many of the drivers who won the stages, drivers who were running top 5, a lot of them didn't get the finishes maybe they deserved, but you know, River Hayes was able to outlast them all, even with damage repair throughout a lot of the middle portion of the race. He was able to hang on and get the victory. A lot of perseverance, and not surprising seeing he's top 5 in points early on this year and the first multi-time winner this year.
Absolutely. We look ahead. Martinsville next week, then Texas, Wilkesboro, and Talladega. Your next 4. It is going to be a wild ride all season long. Make sure you keep it locked right here on VSPEED for the Slim Chickens Cup Series, powered by Tier1SetupShop.com. But for everyone at VSPEED who makes this thing possible, Bradley, Adam, Eddie, Logan, all the other commentators and producers, of course, to Connor Horn, my co-commentator tonight, and Dougie Beard for the cameras. I've been Morgan Cook. Let's have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next time right here on VSPEED.